You're either sneaky or something happened and I don't hear anything.
Yeah, is the answer to your question.
Ah,
I had such a good line, like a joke coming in, and I said it like three times, and my mic wasn't being picked up. So
yeah. What's going
rip
on
that
with
joke.
what's going on with your mic? I'm all I'm hearing is I'm not sure what that is. There's a lot of static.
I'm trying to figure it out actually. Hold on. Re.
That good, huh?
I don't know. Hello. There we go.
That sounds a little bit better.
Better. Cool.
What
So anyway,
happened?
I think I normally throw my mic through voice mod so I can do things um like this. Anyway, um the joke that I was gonna say was
Wait, is this the joke that's like literally over a week old?
no that not yet, not that one yet.
Oh,
No. Um no, so the joke that I had when I was walking in here was prepare to get hijacked or something along those lines. Like the hijacker is here. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
like, yeah,
Huh.
that's yeah. So anyway,
I'm prepared. Uh, when
no,
when
that
when
was the
does the
joke.
when does the actual hijacking start? Because
Oh, not yet, or maybe it's already started.
maybe I'm starting to wonder.
Sorry, I had to yawn.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to everybody who had to hear whatever the heck that was.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that is really good, it's a really highly applicable thing to this being a casting workshop, is you have to be able to, as you're going through your reps, hear yourself. And people who have the ability to hear themselves as they do things, it helps them in their ploy for, you know, greatness exponentially because they can start
Uh-huh.
making adjustments on the fly instead of in between assignments.
What are you trying to say, man?
I'm saying you obviously didn't hear yourself because that was obnoxious and loud. It hurt. It hurt my
Was
ears.
it? Well, look, I don't have any control over how loud things are. I think that's something that my soundboard does
Uh huh.
when I throw it through voice mod. Because
Yeah.
I'm not that. You know what? No, I take it back. You know what it is? It's it's my microphone being a large diaphragm condenser mic. All
Uh
right.
huh.
So it's gonna condense the things around it, so that when I'm far away from my mic and making high pitched noises, it takes that and it's like that's the focus. I'm gonna make that loud. I don't know why, but whatever, man. Actually, I don't. I do know why. I don't know why. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Well, so I know why I don't know why because I don't know why because um I think my microphone is sentient and is actually making decisions. And that's just not true. So therefore, that's the reason I don't know why I don't, or I do know why I don't know why.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing
Oh,
but a
yeah. No.
heartache.
Tell me why.
Tell me why.
Stop it. I missed the opportunity, and then I went with the cringe afterward.
Yeah. It happens.
All good, Kendo.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome,
Kendo.
Sorcerer. What's up?
Oh, yeah, Sorcerer. Hi.
Yeah, I came in during the middle of a story, so yeah, I guess kind of awkward time. But I'm doing pretty good.
No, you came in during a hijacking. All right.
Oh.
Anytime you enter a voice channel that has Kendo and Grant in it, be prepared to walk into a hijacking.
Hey, that's okay. It's entertaining for me, at least.
That's good. Here, hang on. I gotta get my glasses on here.
Yeah, I need to get my headset plugged in. One sec.
Thumbs up. Let's do this.
Hey, Kendo.
What's
Leroy
up?
Jenkins.
Glass. I have glasses now.
You have glasses.
Gunner Optics.
Ah. Going the way
Right?
of our friend Achieves.
Woo! I mean, you could say that, but I mean, yeah. See, I put these on and I was like, I look like a cheese because of the glasses.
You're
No.
right. You do look like a cheese.
So anyway, I've wanted Gunner Optics since I was a little boy.
Yeah.
And I finally got my hands on a pair. And honestly, dude, I highly recommend. Because, like, if I wear these for about an hour and then, like, I look up to see what my computer screen actually looks like, I feel like the wrath of God upon my eyeballs when I take these off. And it's like, I need to protect myself. You know what I'm saying? Like protect.
Yeah, we're working on getting the display capture here. Just the
Yeah. I don't got gunners, but I just wear like computer glasses and like I know what you mean, Grant.
We can
Yeah.
But we'll get 100% Grant all the time. Here we go.
I just need to restart my computer real quick, so I'll be right back.
I love being the center of attention.
Yes, congratulations, Grant. You are now the center of attention. Make sure you take care of your eyeballs, people.
It's true. Gunner sponsor.
Eye care is important. I'll be right back though. I just gotta restart my computer.
Okay. You know what else is important, Kendo?
What is? Why does it look like you're putting on a glove? I'm worried.
No.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hold on, I'm getting big there. I pass.
We got the Miracle Man pass.
I hate everything about one-up and infused. Everything.
Look, you must clean your eyeballs.
Yes, you do have to clean your eyeballs.
It's very important. And then when done,
You know, I'm the only one that haven't received anything yet.
You are the only one who hasn't. Oh, okay. Well, we're currently on the casting workshop. You probably don't.
Okay. I mean that didn't say anything too much.
Yeah.
Is Pass trying to cast? Is that what's happening?
So yeah, we're on casting workshop recording, so we probably don't want to talk about certain things.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I do mirror your pain. Have you talked to Mateo?
It's yes.
Every day.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Make sure you make Mateo miss sleep. Like that's the goal. We're trying to make sure we harass Mateo.
It's not his fault. That's for sure.
I know, but
I will say it is weird to wear these sunglasses with headphones on. Kendo, I don't know how you do it.
I have glasses like for 16 years, and I wear headphones, and it's fine.
Yeah, what type of headphones are you wearing currently?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like these are actually pretty tight. Just they got
Quiet Comfort 35 Bose.
I have the Huda 280 Pros from Uncle Senny.
They look really bulky and large. I happen to love these just because of how comfortable they are. There's nothing else that these do.
Yeah, I would say the same. Mine look pretty much like this, but maybe a little less bulky.
I have a pair of what you have, Kendo, and I have never looked more hideous with these on. I'm not saying you do, but I was small brain, small just like this part is just.
Let's see it. Let's see it. I kind of want to see the full aesthetic. Come on, Achieves 2.0.
So big on my.
It is like big on your head.
Yeah, it's looked like plain headphones.
Yeah, it's not the move, man.
So here's what you do, Grant. Here's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You sell those to me at 25% of what you bought them for.
No,
you're never gonna use them anyway.
Hey, no, I use them when I need another reference in my mixing. Okay.
So you do use that? Yeah, you could send them for free. I won't even pay you then.
I won't even hassle you with the payment. Because who wants money?
Wow. I had someone I asked. He had something that he will never use, and I asked for it, and it was like, okay, you just have to pay for the shipment and all that. I was like, fine. I asked him how much it would cost me, and whenever it came for paying him, he said, nah, don't bother. It's like, yeah, thank you.
Well, see, I love these because they go out.
Yes,
over, and it's not like you chop these off and they're hidden and now you look like an airplane pilot. It's actually has a form to it, so with those just right over and ear cups.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I got replacement pads for these. I don't know if you saw my photo on Twitter. They were nasty.
So what you're telling me is I look hideous in my headphones, Grant.
I literally started with, it's not you, but me. I look terrible in those headphones. Kendo, in other words, I envy how good you look in these things.
Yeah. Okay. That works. I can deal with that. I can deal with that.
Good.
He's hiding the headphone with his hair. That's why.
This is true.
Today's workshop is how to butter up Kendo.
Pretty much that, and Grant is showing off his new eyeball protection.
Mm-hmm.
So
because when you're looking at your computer screen, yeah, that's the one. When you're looking at your computer screen, it feels like that blue light is like the wrath of God upon your eyeballs, and so you better protect that. I think that's the Bible probably says something on that, right? Ye better protect eyeballs. 1 John 42:7.
My doctor said that looking at this computer screen for a long time doesn't matter anyway.
See, I don't believe that. because this totally unbiased card from Gunner themselves says
This stream is brought to you by
Gunner Lens Technology. Reduces digital eye strain, blocks blue light, helps you sleep better, prevents dry eyes, and minimizes glare. So by this unbiased source that's not by the people that made my sunglasses,
does that mean that you didn't pay for it?
Not sponsored.
I can see your face.
No, you can't.
Oh yeah. It's too late.
It's tough. Well. In other
still
news,
costs less than my glasses that I have on. But like,
In other news, I've been invited to play
900.
Valorant, and I'm gonna go cast my teammates to put immense
Oh.
pressure on them and stress them out.
Congratulations. Well, you enjoy
Thanks.
going and playing Valorant. I do appreciate our last workshop, the Valorant clip. I hope it got back to Jungle God how good a clip that was.
I think it did. It was pretty insane.
I didn't hear from him when I did the casting last weekend.
I just think I'm regretting the DM I just sent to my friend.
That's good, huh?
Anyway.
Okay. Anyhow.
Oh, he just sent back sus. Anyways, I'm going to play Valorant. Goodbye, guys.
Okay.
I love y'all.
Enjoy
Have
Valorant.
fun.
Au
Good luck with
revoir.
your glasses.
Thanks.
Yeah, your glasses are kind of cute. Never mind. We tried.
Oh,
We tried.
wow.
We tried
I
to
mean,
give him the
you can
ultimate
offer it.
compliment. He ran away.
Sounds about like
Speaking of glasses, I will need sunglasses soon when I get my contacts. Yeah.
that's crazy.
You're gonna go. What type of glasses are you gonna go with? You wouldn't know this, but I am a connoisseur of glasses.
I don't really know. I think normal like cheap sunglasses.
Okay, cheap sunglasses. I can see that. There is nothing wrong with a cheap pair of sunglasses. I do have to ask: has anyone seen the Oakleys that were branded by what's his name? Kansas City Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't.
Has anyone seen those at all?
I've not.
No? Okay. I need to actually post a link for that then.
Oh,
Yeah, but how much? I heard Oakley and Patrick Mahomes. So the combo of the two tell me that it's like 300 and over.
Let's see here.
Huh?
So dude that was advertising these.
Where
And
did you get
they're
the link?
literally sunglasses.
Where did you get
There.
the link? Kendall?
1 second, we're getting there. They are literally sunglasses that have like the nose ridged into it. I'll throw it up on the on right there.
Oh,
So it's-
yeah, no. I would never buy those.
Where's it up? I want to see it.
I threw it in the casting
Casting
workshop.
I see it.
No, not for me.
Oh, nice, nice. How much? $303. I am not buying them for $303.
I mean,
I was kind of close, like 300 plus.
I do admire the concept though.
I like the side. The side looked really nice.
Like, I personally love wraparounds. So I look at these and I think to myself, yes. The full on the ones that full on wrap around to where like the entirety of your
Yeah.
vision, even peripheral,
Oh,
is covered.
yeah, I never had those. Because like normal glasses doesn't have the kind of style.
I'm a little biased. I don't think you can go wrong with a pair of aviators.
Yeah, well, I agree with that as well.
I may or may not be a huge fan of Top Gun, though. Could be biased.
I watched it last week. Pretty good. The gold
The stream
version
is
is
not
pretty nice,
sponsored
by
by
the way.
I love it. Anybody have anything that they're doing tonight? Any assignments that they have?
Eating chicken Alfredo and casting in like 2 hours.
Ooh, okay. You're doing chicken Alfredo right now and the casting later? Or are you actually going to be like going Chef Billy style and casting while cooking chicken Alfredo?
We'll catch that. We'll
Cross-
cross that bridge when we get to it.
Okay. That sounds,
Mhm.
to be honest, like a lot of fun. I kind of want to see I kind of want to see the Chef Billy style, to be perfectly honest.
I'm eating chicken Alfredo right now.
Not gonna lie, delicious.
Brought to you by my mom, officially good cook.
Ah, yes.
Ooh. Not even cook for yourself. Why?
You know, I appreciate the moms of the world. This is a shout out to the moms.
That's true.
Shout out to all you moms out there. Thank you so much for being moms, bringing young, unorthodox, extremely awkward young people into the world.
Yeah.
And then having the audacity of watching us poop ourselves.
Oh.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Yes. All the fathers. Happy Father's Day as well. You better get that. Now we had an advertisement at a thing. It was for a fake product called Dad Fuel. They were talking about all the different flavors. My personal favorite was I thought I told you to take the trash out, or take out the garbage grape.
I mean, happy Father's Day to you, Kendo.
I know. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm a dad in way too many ways. That's the sad thing. It's when the dad jokes become too much that it's
when you think
disadvantageous.
your dad jokes are that funny. Now, like,
My dad jokes have never been funny though. Like I don't know that.
At least you know.
Yes. Like I have no problem admitting my dad jokes terrible, hideous, like egregious, foul.
Give us one right now. I don't believe you, Kendo. I think I need to hear some proof.
You know what? We'll go with the classic one. The classic one. It's also a Confucius joke.
All right.
There once was a man who ran in front of a car. That man got tired. But don't be the man who ran behind the car, because he got exhausted.
That's a good one. I like that.
That's a 2-for-1.
What do you mean? What do you mean that's not good? That's great.
Oh, that's terrible. What are you talking about?
No, that was good.
It's good and then it's terrible. That's the point of dad jokes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you're doing everything right, Kendo. Trust.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Kendo, have you ever casted with Gibbs before?
No, I have not. Although, fun fact, Gibbs and I do have a mutual follow on Twitter. And his came at the time because when Giblet was just getting started in games, Gibbs reached out to people on Twitter asking about Switch controllers. So I'd gotten his DMs and I'm like, dude, I'll just send you all my Switch equipment, games and everything. So Giblet, when he plays Switch, and I forget the name of the even younger Gib, but whenever the kids play Switch, it's actually my stuff that they're playing with. So kind of cool to think about. But that's, to be perfectly honest, that's what I feel like the community can and should be. Like, Rocket League in and of itself is such a special type of community. A lot of people are different. A lot of people are very approachable as well. So, like, there is the idea, the mental behind, that person doesn't want to talk to me. That person doesn't want anything to do with me. But the fact is, just about everybody who is somebody in the world of Rocket League is really down to earth. You can find yourself in conversations with just about anyone. I highly encourage. Don't be afraid to watch a stream first. That's probably the best way to start. But create relationships.
Or run into them while playing and just party up for some games.
Yeah, that does work as well. doesn't happen too often for folk like me, because outside of maybe axle toss, I don't know that anybody in the history of Rocket League is as bad as I am when it comes down to
Oh no.
comes down to Rocket League rank right now. I'm literally low champ, but then again, I only started playing again very recently, so
Low champ.
low champ. We were hovering around Diamond 3 at the end of the season.
It's still like top 80% though, isn't it? Or top like.
Yeah, I mean it's still pretty high. Don't get me wrong. I would hope that I'm pretty high considering.
The average is plat 2. I think.
Average is plat 2. Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I know that I'm still above average, so that's the cool thing.
Yeah, about what is that? Top 15%?
I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm plat. I'm like I'm Diamond 1 peak, and I'm hovering around to plat 3. So I don't know, man. Doing better than me.
My peak is 1620.
Which, on the topic of Rocket League, I got something funky.
Oh.
I'm going through the World Championships this August.
Hey! There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We love
We had to go. Went through Ticketmaster, had a huge kerfuffle,
Yeah.
but we got it sorted out. And this wasn't like the main one where like nobody could get on it. We had our own personal thing that we had to get through. We got it sorted out, and we're good now.
Yeah, I won't be going this year because I've got a wedding to attend to around the same time, but hopefully next year. And you get to meet so many people. I'm always jealous of the people that get to go to LANs because it's just like you can't beat a LAN experience. Having like played at some before, like I really hope I get a chance to like cast like any LAN event in the future.
Oh yeah, that's one of my. That's what I want to do. Sometime.
I did produce a LAN event, but I wasn't there.
Amazing.
I wasn't at home.
Actually, I think that's a question, Ken, that we haven't really discussed on in the workshops before. How do you prepare for like LANs?
Oh, 1 second.
Oh yeah, you look a little busy on stream.
What's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say you look a little busy on stream.
Yeah, well, I had somebody message me, so I was real quick replying to them. Axel toss DM. Keep your name out my mouth. Keep my name out your mouth. Nobody wants to hear that.
That was an interesting day in the world.
Wait, what? Okay, so how do you prepare for a LAN?
Yeah. What notes do you bring?
Define. So as far as working goes, working a LAN, what do you bring? For me personally,
take a shower.
Yeah, that would be number one. First off, you go in unshowered. The chances are you're not going to get invited back, and it'll be your own fault. With all due respect, like you gotta get in there, make sure you scrub up or shove off, one or the other. But for me personally, like I don't have too much of a repertoire of LAN, or I don't have too much of a history with LANs. More often than not, my experience with LANs now is I do MC work for Unified when they do some of their smaller LANs.
Okay.
But what I have essentially gathered throughout is that it is good to bring just about everything that you can think of in that moment. So like bring a bring a Logitech webcam, whatever cheap webcam you have. USB extension cables. I'm literally going down the list of what I bring in my own mobile setup. I have my laptop, which is capable for me to completely cast out. I bring my Audio-Technica headset with a USB junction. So it's like it'll plug in.
Okay.
It'll plug in the XLR into this USB device and channel into my laptop, or it'll channel into something else. So if I need a microphone, if somebody else needs a microphone, we have it. We have it there. We have it available. Like I said, webcam, USB extensions, power extensions. So every little thing that you can bring like that, if you become over prepared, and this is kind of how I've become very secure in my job in my contracting, excuse me. I shouldn't say job, but I become very secure in my contracting for Unified because I show up. I'm both an ambassador of esports, and I'm willing to talk to, and I go person to person, family to family, just kind of being hey, hi, I'm a big voice here. You're going to hear me a couple times over the speakers, but at the same time, I hope you're enjoying yourself. Is there any questions you had? Would you like to learn more about esports? You want to know what's going on? And, occasionally those conversations lead to something more. All of that's perfectly good, but when I throw in the fact that I can be kind of like a mobilized tech guy and bring different expertise, and I got a bag that is full of tricks, for lack of better terms. Generally, it's full of extra extension cables so that I can, set up a laptop utilizing my laptop, channel it through Discord or OBS Ninja to create more of a production angle, like a on-stage camera or something silly like that. But being able to have little things that help improve the production go a long way in helping you secure those contracts down the road and help create greater opportunities with the groups that you work with. Like, if you don't have all that, if you don't have all the, let's be perfectly honest. I carry $1,500 worth of equipment on me to some of these lands. So if you enumerate it out, not everybody's going to have $1,500 worth of equipment. The one thing you want to make sure you do, bring your full personality and be willing to help with whatever. So like, you could show up as a caster, and a lot of the times the people who work lands, like DreamHack even, actually a perfect example of this would be, there was an ad on Broadcast GG about a month ago. It was for somebody who was putting on a LAN in California. And the person was offering $200 for a caster, a $200 day rate for a caster.
Okay.
But was offering more if they were willing to help set up and take down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that one.
A large amount of the time, the people who hire you, especially with some of these smaller organizations, are also the people working on pickup and takedown. And they're working on setting everything up as well. So if they see someone who's not just a voice, but is someone who's willing to get their hands dirty and has dedication to improving the landscape for esports, that's going to go a long way in your first impression or more, helping you with longevity with a certain company. So I think specifically of Unified, the first time I ever got contracted with Unified, I went all in. I showed up I walked all 4 levels and made sure that I was trying to do as much as I possibly could, even though they only hired me as a caster for one single Rocket League cast.
One series.
Yeah, one single series. Well, not it would not a one single series, but basically, it was 1 or 2 and done. Like I was only there for 2 hours of commentating on their books, and
Wow.
it still paid decent, you know. But it was my first time ever working a LAN, and I basically told them, hey, I want to be involved in any way, shape, and form that I can. Like I want to see what you all do, get to know the people who do this, and by the end of it, I was sitting there in wonderment because this was a group of people that acted like a family, and they're not. They just literally all love esports, and they want to further the esports spectrum. So I fell in love with this group of people, and when it came time for a takedown, I stayed there an extra 2.5, 3 hours, and this was at the stadium for Sporting Kansas City, their soccer stadium. So this LAN was actually done on 5 different levels. It was like, yeah, you actually had something going on down at the floor level, and you could walk outdoors onto the pitch. You had the second level, which was kind of an introductory entrance level. You had something going on the third level. They did a cosplay competition there. They had free play, the whole 9 there, and you could also walk out, and it was more towards like the top of the stands. And then they had stuff on the 5th level, which was your suites and your executive area. So we worked 2.5, 3 hours helping them take down. And it was like, I went as long as I possibly could before it was like, okay, sorry guys, I gotta head out. But that first impression, being able to show them, hey, I'm not just a name, a face, and a voice. I'm someone who legitimately cares about esports. If you go there to work and you go there to further esports, the people who hired you and the people that you work with will notice. And I've been working with Unified ever since. That's a 1.5 year relationship now.
Wow. Good, they'll come. Thanks.
One of my next gigs with them should be in the middle of next month. They have funny enough, it's kind of made it so that they don't get as many Epic Games contracts, or they're not able to do things like a Fortnite tournament or a Rocket League tournament. But the casino industry is very interested in promoting gaming. So there are multiple casinos. Like Unified will do a circuit through what they do with League of Legends. Like they do the full-on production for a couple different conferences of League of Legends, collegiate League of Legends. So they'll go like college to college and throw esports events at the colleges to try to promote esports there and grow. But you'll find some of their bigger events end up being the ones where they end up going to casinos, and the casinos will just straight up front the money for prize pools and everything. Because they're like, hey, this is pretty stinking cool. We can get the kids involved along with the grandparents, and everybody will be here. The whole family. It'll be a fun time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I'm hoping they continue to have me on. They haven't told me no yet. So that's like I said, it's been a really cool relationship to continue to harvest and grow.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the. I mean, it's something I've been learning now that I've been casting is like doing like the same gigs over and over again. Like helps just. It's the best way to build relationships with these orgs and with other casters and producers. And so when bigger events come up or when you encounter these people on other shows, it's they look to you as someone they can trust and someone who they know will be able to perform. So.
Mm-hmm.
And it also helps when it's just a really cool organization.
It does help a little bit, but The fact is, a lot of the difference between a cool organization and a not so cool organization, more often than not, has to do with whether or not they pay people.
Be honest. Or...
That's I know that's a terrible way to think of it or put it, but if you're getting paid, that's a pretty stinking cool organization. You got people that are dedicated enough to spend money on the people that they're bringing out. So that's just my personal thought on that.
Yeah. You just can do the national championship of high school for Rocket League.
Wait, high school rocket. So the EGF in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did watch a little bit of that. Some of the. What did you have a question about it?
Now, did you see the main stage of ESPN?
Yeah, I did.
It's cool.
Really fun stuff. I've actually met both Septilance and J Turbo in person through Unified. So it's a lot of fun. They've both been in my DMs since then. So it is really fun to watch people succeed and have opportunities granted to them. Now, I know there was a lot of people who criticized the selections EGF made, but at the same time, they were functional. They were actual human beings, and the hype they brought was real.
Yeah.
I personally enjoyed what I got to watch of it so far. I plan on watching a little bit more later on, going through maybe analyzing it. But
I did Friday for the main stage.
Ah. So you were actually working it?
Yeah. At home, but yeah.
Nice. Okay. No, that is
Friday and Saturday.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Now EGF seems like one that's a little bit tougher to get into.
Really?
At least for me. Like I don't know if like the way that they want to hire people is a mystery to me. So it's like
there's an application you just send, and that's pretty much it.
Interesting. And they do that for commentators as well?
I don't think they will pay enough for you anyway.
I mean, at the same time, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Like
it's in the lower side.
I live on peanuts, to be perfectly honest. So
the cool thing during the season is like the schedule is always the same. And you can like now they kind of book like caster and producer for like the whole season pretty much. During the season, I was doing Wednesday from I think it was from 4 to 11 every Wednesday. It's very cool. And one good thing, I already got paid for this last weekend.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. That's actually amazing.
Normally like 3, like the most I waited I think was like 4 days.
That is insane. Really well done by them.
It's all like the I don't know, his name is Styler. It's pretty much the one like running EGF, and he's alone doing it. He's doing like amazing job by himself.
Love it. Oh, yeah. Well, let's see. It's been about an hour, and we've talked about a great many things. The informative side of lands. That was a really cool question. So thank you, Cicero. That was awesome. It led
prepared. Gotta test you.
Exactly. Well, it led to a couple of really good discussions. I think that's the most important part. Like when we're able to get some fun perspectives, especially perspective that we haven't really talked about yet, like that. That's glorious. It definitely does not get much better than that. Did we want to do a little bit of replay casting potentially, or maybe we could go a different direction today? I can go back to the VOD review direction, whatever everybody's flavor is. To be perfectly honest.
That's the tough one. Because I am casting in half an hour.
Ah.
Replay. I don't know. Last spot would have been RSC from a couple weeks ago, so I'd be inclined. Wow, God. Oh, this is always a tough question.
Yeah, we can find a VOD if you'd like.
Yeah, but just for me, the last spot I have is from more than a week ago. It's like last week I was on vacation.
We can hit a Starcoin VOD. I can actually pull up the EGF live stage.
Oh, actually, have we done that yet? Like a live stage VOD review?
I don't know that we have. Could be
Maybe
pretty
just
fun.
See if, yeah, maybe just see if you notice anything different from that,
Yeah, give me a minute.
that type of game.
Let's see here.
Do they have the void? I don't know if they keep.
It would be a shame if they did not leave the VODs on Twitch.
I'm not sure.
Well, I think I'm gonna head out, guys.
But I know they
Okay.
do YouTube, I think.
All right, have a good night.
Okay. Have a
Good
wonderful
night,
night as
Corey.
well.
I will do my best.
I hear you.
Do you know how the Twitch of the EGF?
Let's see here.
Oh yeah, no, they have it.
There we go.
We had like I think on Friday, we had 8 production at the same time.
Nice.
During group stage. It's like Rocket League, Smack, Overwatch.
They had an Alienware sponsorship. That's awesome.
Until Alienware, we cannot say sponsored by Disney, so collaboration with Disney.
Rise and shine from the ESPN wide world of sports in Walt Disney
And ESPN.
World, Florida, the home of the 2022 EGF
Oh, it's so surreal.
National Championship. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful day. I'm Grace Remington. 60 Rocket League teams started the season online. 16 advanced here to Florida.
I open up the stream so I can see it.
Let's see here. Well, I mean, I'll actually float it in here to the share screen here. There we go.
To be joined by Tyler Schroedt, the founder of EGF. Tyler, lots of great action this weekend. How you feeling today?
So that's him.
Wow.
Owner of
It's
EGF.
so energetic. It's really infectious. You go around, you see the students, the time that they're having, and it's hard not to be just absolutely.
I'm gonna say that is an impressive beard, Tyler. Well done.
His name on in Discord is Viking.
It's the first time that we got
Tyler.
to actually do this.
Viking Tyler, I like it.
Yeah.
It's always a good kind of tired. Lots of hours, but it's rewarding
Absolutely
at
worth
the end.
it.
So I want to hear about the early stages of you founding EGF. Like most great ideas, the inspiration for this organization came from your college dorm room.
Yeah, I actually started playing in the esports world as a Counter-Strike player when I was 10 years old. Did the player side for a while, and a time where all the leagues that I were playing with no longer exist anymore. And then moved over into working with teams and then with tournaments and things like that. And so by the time I got to college, I'd already been doing it for a while. And then when I got into college, I started working with Res Life and Student Conduct at Rochester Institute of Technology. And the biggest challenge that they were always trying to solve is student engagement. How do you find the students that
Good Rocket League team.
have the communities or the sense of...
I feel like I want to listen to this really
That's
close.
really important because if you feel like you're a part of something, you're more likely to succeed. So a part of it was lobbying my supervisors and everything to make sure that they understood that the impact of gaming was more about community and what that meant and how that can develop opportunities for them to be a part of it. So finally, when they let me start running video game tournaments, as you can imagine, they were pretty popular. It turns out people really like playing video games. So as we started to introduce those, it got bigger. It went to more campuses. We were really focused on that grassroots effort. And then over time, we realized that if we really wanted to make this sustainable and we wanted to build the league that we envisioned when we started it, we had to start working with colleges and ultimately with high school administrators. So over time, we evolved into specializing in working with campus administration, towns, districts, all sorts of different organizations to really help top-down adoption of esports. Because as you can imagine, a lot of people didn't grow up with esports, so this experience is pretty new to them. So it's a long education process about trying to help people understand, when you're playing video games, you're seeing a lot of the same benefits as traditional sports, huge education and career opportunities, and most importantly, it's that sense of community. So when we bring these kids in, you see them as part of these teams. Some of them are inseparable. You saw yesterday most of those interviews were the triples, so they're really, really about supporting their teammates and a big part of that. So a lot of ups and downs along the way, but it was a really great experience. And every time we come back to this, I'm always thinking about, what would the 10 or 15-year-old me version want as a start? And then we try to build that, to make sure that we're keeping up to date with what the gamers of today want.
Yeah, you talked about those grassroots efforts. I imagine back in 2015 when you first started these tournaments, what, were you running them out of the basement of the dorms at your college? And then how did you get it to expand so quickly? Because 7 years later, look, you're hosting national championships.
Yeah, a lot of hard work and a lot of people who are really, really passionate about making it all happen. It was literally out of my dorm room and then my apartment. We still run mostly remote production today, and all of it's about how do we get students in front of the opportunities. So if they're getting that real experience, they're going to have better
by the way,
career opportunities.
there were no producers.
Same since day one, basically. It was us looking at what we had available, whether it was poor college students trying to figure out how to do something for a very low budget,
All producers
and making sure that experience was still really strong. So obviously we've gone a lot from
But the
my
guy that did
tiny box of a dorm
the main
room
stage,
to on set, and that experience has been really,
on
really
Saturday
rich
and Sunday.
and helpful.
Had to work like a
Now,
week
most
just
of the
to
high
set
school
it up
students competing here today, they've been
to
remote or they
met
haven't had the chance to
the
travel. So
condition
this
of
is
ESPN.
a big opportunity for them to get this experience in the national spotlight. And some of them, it may go a little even further
Because
than
of the
that.
delay.
I mean, some of them could be playing
And all that.
for a college scholarship because there's college administrators, scouts here watching this competition. But for others, it may be just the experience or just for fun. But how important is this event for them?
It's incredibly important. I mean, you walk around on the floor, and we were talking to students. We originally, our first event was going to be in 2020. For obvious reasons, we ended up postponing that. But there are students that, were freshmen or sophomores when that was happening, and this is what they've been talking about for the last several years. Like, Disney is the goal. They want to be here. They want to compete. They want to see the people that they've seen the team names and the gamer handles of over that time. So it's a huge importance. And getting down here was, the first big challenge, the first time that a lot of them experiences. So we were really lucky to be able to work with Intel to give them scholarships to get down here, which was a huge thing. We love working with them, of course, because it's actually what made this event possible. And, for the students when they come down here, I love being there when they come in because, they're used to playing hopefully from their computer lab, sometimes just from home. They walk through those doors for the first time. They see the stage. You see their faces just light up. And I'm not going to lie, I had the same when I came in after the day of setup, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, my goodness, this is what I had always dreamed of.
That's awesome. Now, I feel like for those outside the esports realm, there's always kind of a misunderstanding about what it actually is. I mean, I'll admit, I didn't start following esports until 2020 when traditional sports were canceled. I got on the Twitch streams, I was watching MLB The Show, and I didn't realize until then there is really a sense of community in some of those streams. But not only that,
I remember
kids
those
playing
MLB The
are
Show
getting the
streams.
same benefits of traditional sports like communication and teamwork. So can you kind of speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really comes back to when we start these programs. So a big part of what we do as EGF is going in to work with these schools to help them understand esports from the beginning, and then to not just look at it as, hey, we're going to start a Rocket League team or a Smash team or something like that. It's really understanding that esports from a competitive perspective is really more of a platform. So when you start that team, it's something that people can relate to. I mean, Rocket League is obviously the easiest one to get into. It's car soccer, and so when you understand that, you think, oh, okay, I get it. I can follow. I can root for a team, and then that kind of opens the door to the rest of the school because then they can start thinking about, okay, how does this impact the community that maybe is not fully focused on competition? Maybe they want to be managers, media people, otherwise focused on different opportunities that are ultimately going to lead to better careers. And then we're also able to leverage that to talk about wellness. It's really important.
I'll give
for
him
us, for
credit. He's
example,
very
looking
well
around
spoken
mental
on
health
what
and
he's
wellness for
saying right now.
players. We want to make sure that they're
Yeah.
supported. We want to make sure that there's a huge level of diversity.
And man,
in our
I wish I was
schools and
younger
teams.
watching that.
So there's a lot of focus of how do we work with our women and non-binary players to make sure that they really appreciate the sense of community that's there. And that's why we know when we talk about going back to even just the intel, we're really careful about the partners that we work with because we want to make sure that those values are always aligned. So obviously being here with ESPN Disney, always a lovely opportunity to be able to work with them. But when we got the chance to work with Intel and Alien, where they told us about the donation program, the Intel Score with Intel Core program, where they're going to donate all of these PCs to local schools. Those are all amazing opportunities, and they really align with the values that we're trying to bring. And when we come back to the benefits of the traditional sports for those players, we want to set that example not by just what we do as staff, but who we're working with, and then helps to create that environment where they feel really comfortable, making mistakes so they can educate them and helping them learn along the way.
All right, amazing work.
That was some
Tyler Schroedt,
flawless brand
founder of
integration.
EGF. Thanks for joining us. Let's go have a day today, shall we?
Looking forward to it.
All right, we're going to head to a break now, but coming out of it, more esports conversation, and we're going to bring our casters back on set, too. You're watching the 2022 EGF High School Rocket League National Championship.
That's
They're here, so what are you expecting today?
Oh,
Yeah, it's by teams like Lake Wales. Bringing this together by teams.
Guys, exciting few
Said you guys highlighted the mechanic earlier.
28 seconds remaining. Bringing this together.
days. Exciting. Get you up this morning. I think that highlight package sure did. I mean, I'll tell you what, if the players are the artists, you guys are the poets. Great calls there. Welcome back into the 2022 EGF High School National Championship. I'm joined with two of our casters, Jay Turbo and Dor. Guys, exciting few days of action. Are you ready for the semis and the grand final today?
Look, we got to kick things off. There's a huge number of things to talk about. These teams have been competing, and we've had a lot of goals for, and we've had more goals for, and we've had more goals for. At some point, these games have got to converge. And honestly, with these four teams, it really does feel like the culmination of it all. It's bound to be good ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I was just going through all of the numbers that these teams have put up this weekend, it is absolutely bonkers. Some of the dominance shown by teams like Lake Wales, like Wilson Central that we're going to be seeing today are just phenomenal. The number of goals scored are unlike any I've ever seen in tournament bracket, honestly. And the fact that they're bringing this together at just the high school level is mind-boggling.
All right, so we started with 16 teams this weekend. The
On
top
Friday, I
four
had a
remain. Let's go
series.
ahead and take a look.
There were 45 goals scored. by one team.
45 goals scored by what?
18
Oh.
in 3 games.
Okay,
Oh
maybe
my
they
God.
didn't say bonkers and synonyms enough then. 45, like,
Like, was it a
Yeah.
blowout or was it just a back and forth game?
It's a blowout. I said 45
Oh.
goals by one team.
that
Oh,
is
God.
insane.
I think it's 12 and 2, 17 and 0, and I think 16-0.
That's
There were
Oh, man.
that's not right. That's like murder.
Yeah, one side of best
Look
of
at the bracket
5.
now.
That's
And guys, it's
man,
pretty
that's
much
terrible.
what
On
we
main stage.
expected, right? The top 4 seeds are here. So
Ugh.
what are you expecting today?
Yeah, it's wild. For
Yeah,
once
yeah.
in esports,
That was
everything's going to plan.
that was the
Not
two
usually how it
that
goes.
J2 and
Someone's
Dor
usually
was
flipping the
casting
bracket, someone's getting upset, and someone's
game
packing
was
home
so
a
long.
lot earlier than they were.
So
But,
so the
with
question kind of
Lake
becomes,
Wales, Summit Hilltoppers,
how
and
many
Wildcats,
teams
like,
were
everyone
involved
we
in this
expected, and honestly,
to get to
top
that
teams
point?
were
Because you wouldn't expect
that you highlighted the goals
that level of slaughter over 3 games.
Yeah, no, it absolutely
Yeah.
does. And I mean,
Like that would have been MLE record
seated outside of top
pace
four
right there.
into this were the Rams, and they were seated up against the.
There was two groups, one of 6, one of 5, in this tournament. But overall, I think there was like 30 teams in total. Something like that. But yeah, they had the team that got scored so much on had like 2, like not 1 sub but 2 sub, and I think the second sub was like silver.
Ah.
Yeah.
I think that speaks to the inexperience of the teams. And I know in those positions, like from my like CCA and CRO bracket experience, like when you got on one side of matchup, you score 3 goals, then you play defense, so you can get the series done.
Yeah, the thing with AGF is when you do like in those tournament, it's kind of close a little bit, but during the season it's like slaughtered. You have like 7, 8, 9 goals per game every single game. Mostly in high school because they are really young.
Why did his light turn out? I'm curious.
For his laptop?
Yeah.
Probably, timed out or
exactly. You
screen
look
locked.
at most of the team sports that we think of, football, baseball, soccer, you couldn't have practices during COVID. You were fully online. You couldn't, get on a bus and go meet your friends because everyone had to be inside. But what did these players do? They went to their games. They picked up Rocket League, and for some of them, they'd already been grinding, and this was just an opportunity for them to really get some of the support that they needed, whether it was from their school, from their parents, as this was the only thing they had, maybe giving them new friends or helping them build those connections, continue those soft skills of teamwork, communication, everything that's so crucial coming out of high school.
I love the hat. Good vibes only.
But it's the friends you make. It's how you
I like the use of soft skills in a sentence. That's
yes.
It was schools like there were, I think,
multiple schools,
3 schools that had 2 teams
even
there.
more watching at home.
Ah.
And you talk about a tournament like this, it really provides
Lake
a
Whale
pipeline
was
to
one
the
of them.
pros because in
That is an
esports,
impressive
there are
trophy,
no
too.
amateurs. They don't have to worry about the NIL deals, getting in trouble with some higher, authority, right? I mean, they can make money in several different ways. So how beneficial is this type of experience for students who would like a professional career in this?
I think it's huge, especially with some of the younger students, right? These freshmen and sophomores coming in where they can earn scholarship money especially, or look at college teams, because a lot of the upper leagues for the given games, whether it's Overwatch, whether it's Rocket League, any of the above, they have some degree of age limitation on them. So being able to collect that prize money in some sort of useful way through scholarship and through collegiate opportunity is actually fantastic for them, because while they have all the skills to compete at super high levels, they don't always have the outlets to do exactly that.
Yeah, and we look at sort of those beneficial elements of team sports and working in that team, because there's plenty of players who sit at home and are
Right now I am
incredibly
enjoying the back
gifted,
and forth.
but there's a different level when it comes to
It's
being
very
able to play in a
fluid.
team, being able to work off of your teammates, and so many professional organizations are looking for that. They don't want you to just be able to style on your opponents. They want you to be able to
On the
work
thing you were
inside an
mentioning
organization,
earlier, Kendall,
figure
like
things out.
they're
Now
really
they've
doing a good
stage
job of
experience.
selling
That's more
esports
than
to
some
the
professionals had coming into this
to
year.
those maybe not
Yeah,
immediately
to attest to
familiar
that,
with
right?
it.
I've
Yeah.
played sports my entire life. I played soccer growing up.
I mean,
played
and that's
college. I've competed in a lot
so
of that.
the sad thing about that, because of the fact that ESPN folded their esports division when all the pandemic stuff started, you lost a little bit of the progress that they were trying to make, or it was progress that was in its infancy. So now that things are starting to come back, and I'm 95% sure this is the first ESPN picked up Rocket League item in a very long time, like since
Probably because
ESPN folded.
I think like Tyler said, it was set for like 2020. I think they had their like contract already made, so I think they were forced to do that one, even though if they didn't want to.
Really?
Yeah.
That is interesting. So ESPN will probably never touch it again anyway.
I don't know. It's depending on the feedback on this one, I think.
I mean, so far, what I've seen has been entertaining. It's definitely been really cool to get a look in on everything.
For my collegiate esports.
You throw in the fact that it's on ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Yeah.
It's on ESPN 3. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be on there complaining like, what is all this garbage?
It really is like the same experience. The scrim hours.
Rocket League is more like a sport than any other game. That's why it's easier for them to get this.
Yes, it is. And to be honest, that's...
Days a week
I think that
between
Rocket
3
League is the one that has the greatest chance of making it happen. Like, connecting esports and...
traditional
everything
sport.
else. Yeah, traditional sport.
For a lot of these teams, scrimming
I
every
didn't know
time.
that the Intel and Alienware were donating those PCs. Just learned that today.
Intel were donating the PCs, eh?
Yeah, they said Tyler said that every single PC they had they're donating to the schools,
That is awesome.
and I'm pretty sure Intel paid for all the travel fee for all the schools that went there.
That is literally amazing.
Yeah.
Those are like, whenever I do live events, I also bring a notebook. Those are little things that I would be mentioning right now, where they are currently. And it's like, you look at what this is. You have multiple multi-million, billion-dollar, companies that are putting time both back into the children who are playing these games, as well as the schools that are facilitating these kids. And there is nothing better than that. When everyone comes together, young people are finding potential futures with different collegiate interfaces. That's perfect. That's glorious. You want every second of that. You'd want to be mentioning like, the PCs donating to the schools. I mean, it literally does not get better than that. People supporting children in education and the community therein. But like those are the things I would be wanting to hammer home if I were on that desk.
Odd reviews in between that, making sure you're checking out your opponents. The work is all the same. It's just the output is just, it looks a little bit different, but when you sit down and you're with your team, and communication is a massive aspect of it, the same as it is
I'm
with
gonna
traditional
bounce.
sports.
I do.
I'm not that cast soon.
Play
Gotta
alongside your teammates
prep
and
for
learn
it, so
in the same
Yeah.
exact way, the practice.
Well, I'm gonna
Thanks.
keep
Is what
on
you're
going
gonna do?
through.
It
We'll
really
keep
is
on
hard
looking
the
for little
first time you get
things,
to do it,
and
how similar it is.
it's
Yeah,
going to be
it
something that
certainly
goes
is,
up
the
on the
balancing
YouTube. It'll
act
be
that
in
full-time
the
students who have to
Twitch
keep their
history, so
cool
feel
on
free to watch it
YouTube.
too.
Social life
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
somehow
I've been
find
uploading
hours
everything to
practice
YouTube
maintain
afterward,
this level of
so
success. Thanks, guys.
not
Lots
always
more of the
immediately,
show coming up. When
but
we come back, we
yeah.
are previewing our
We
first
got all the old
semifinal
ones.
match of the day, the Retro Rams
Sometimes
and
this
the
org
Hilltoppers. We'll be right
broadcast
back.
don't actually happen, so I might be back. We'll see. I'm just gonna head
Okay.
over there though, so that people can join and talk. So yeah, thank you so much again, Kendall.
Yep, we will see ya.
So it was nice to meet you. Congratulations again on
Thanks,
getting to work that gig.
Thanks.
Hope you gentlemen have a wonderful night.
You too. Intel
Playoffs
hat.
goes to show just how strong they are. When they
What's
played
up?
their first season together,
That was the Intel advertisement.
Ah.
About this one.
I mean, for me, you can see just how excited they are.
I mean, for me, it's really a story about the Rams. See if they can punch up just a little
Palm
bit.
Beach
Yeah,
Community High
absolutely.
School.
As the Rams were one of those teams that sort of exploded into Season 10, and you can see why they're a triple threat roster with everyone able to show up. And right there, JB King Gamer, one of those difference makers. When the Rams are falling behind, when they need that extra push, he is there every single time to finish the job. And of course, supported by the likes of Murdercaps and Melio Dasking. This entire squad has shown up. They didn't lose a single game in regular season, only losing in playoffs. Goes to show just how strong they are when this is their first season together competing here in EGF. And you can see just how excited they are on stage. And it's just such an amazing moment when you get that pop-off moment in front of everyone.
Yeah, their energy on stage is infectious. Meliadus King is absolutely incredible. We had the camera trained on his eyes, just like dead on over the monitor whole time.
Alright. Anime Insight. Meliodas.
Yeah,
Guy
Medio
looking lethal. You
that's
see in
King.
red, just
his
nothing
name?
but goals. And honestly, that's exactly what we got. They were cool, calm, and
Now, I don't like the fact that they were actually there and had the opportunity for multiple days to literally ask, hey, what are the pronunciations of this gamer tags? And they're both struggling with Meliodas King.
Liked it, but just with that 1 or 2 players that were willing to give them the energy, it's a real perfect balance for esports, right? If you're holding
that part is kind of a feels bad.
Okay, maybe a bit too much. We're gonna get over.
Granted, I don't know everything that went on there.
And they're showing up on LAN. They're punching.
For all I know, they couldn't. They might not have been live the entire time there.
Yeah, that they do. They came in as the overall number 9 seed, but of course
they were there for 3 days.
Seeding in points.
They were there all 3 days.
Just having the spring split, other teams came in with 2. I'm sure they would have been seeded higher had they had that season 9 experience. But we're looking across the board. They're a really strong team. As the Highlanders, they're going to be a tough opponent.
Yeah, this is where things get hard. Lake Wales is a scary one. Look, we would be remiss if we did not mention one specific player from this team. Ian Cito, we have effectively named the big plays after him. The flip resets, the dribbles, you name it. He brought it out in game number.
Okay. I think we see the SSL in this lobby.
The 3 of them rock SSL title.
This is where things get hard. Lake Wales is a scary one. Look, we would be remiss if we did not mention one specific player from this team. Ian Cito, we have effectively named the big plays after him. The flip resets, the dribbles, you name it. He brought it out in game number 1 yesterday. Though it was a little quieter later on, there's an opportunity to take down this team. It's one of those teams that's got a lot of star power on it, but if that star power doesn't show up,
he's gonna get scalped by a team for sure.
Well, I mean, I even saw Minnesota was in the.
Oh, there was plenty of college,
I don't know. I saw Minnesota active in the chat. And I'm not sure if that was actually Fat or anybody I know from the Minnesota side. But
there were even like a college at the arena there.
That's awesome. Yeah. To be honest, these colleges need to be scouting these young people like crazy. Really fun thing. I ended up meeting. Well, I ended up commentating the high school championship for the state of Pennsylvania. I've done it twice now. I'm hoping that I get to do it again. But one of the people that I ended up meeting, or through that, or commentating first, was Jonathan. Jonathan went to Shenandoah University, and now is transferred over to Akron. So Jonathan is literally going to be one of the Akron players going forward. I don't know whether it'd be 3rd or 4th, because that's a pretty hotly contested spot. But SSL, really, really good at the game, has a heart for creating more than just esports moments on the pitch, but is very dedicated. I've met Jonathan at a couple of the Unified LANs, which is nutty to think about. But
nice.
It's so insane how the community is just a matter of inches away from each other. Like, it seems like we're so distant, but that distance is dwarfed when you think about the reality of how small this world is.
Yeah.
We saw moments where Cherry Hill, one of the lower seeds who made it into this championship bracket, still able to take goals
Funny
off
thing
of
about
this team.
Cherry Hill, the school, their team name is
the Steve Buscemi fan club. Is Steve Buscemi a alumni there?
I don't know, but that was a meme all season long, and in this one too.
The Steve Buscemi fan club. Okay, I like it.
I had an interview. I mean, I was producing, so we had an interview with the captain of the team. That was pretty good. Funny.
So it's Cherry Hill High School?
Yeah, West.
Cherry Hill High School West. I'm actually I gotta look this place up. What did we figure out what state they're from?
What?
Cherry Hill High School West.
Yeah, Cherry Hill West High School.
So Cherry Hill West, New Jersey? Does that sound right?
I think so. Pretty sure they're not like a lot of Cherry Hill.
Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me.
Is he?
And by the look of it, let's see. It might actually be so. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, it's not where Steve Buscemi went to school, by the look of it.
Again,
I'm interested to know the story there.
You can see them on stage just realizing how nasty their plays are.
That's the stinky face. He's a little too good on the ball. He looked ridiculous, but the rest of the team as well. Extreme Jaden especially, I was impressed with just being kind of the glue that holds this team together. The rotations back were extremely helpful for enabling those plays and making those big score lines happen.
It's going to be tough to take the top-seeded Highlanders down, but honestly, I think if anyone can do it, it could be JB King and all the clutch moments he had yesterday. All right, we have another matchup to preview coming up after this. It's the Hilltoppers and the Wildcats. More Rocket League action headed your way.
Oof. They really did this
Wilson
long
Central
form, didn't they?
Wildcat. Oh, the name is so long.
Well, no, they took their sweet time making sure that you got to know everybody.
Yeah. They had a,
Course,
I think
have
it was
the passing to back it all up.
30 minutes.
Oh, look at
starting.
that!
Either out of
A
the
cowboy
60
hats.
Team play is there.
Like a roll is going to be put back out wide. Safety is yet to be found here for the orange side of the pitch. Jaden applying that pressure, so able to
Oh, okay.
against the wall.
They're coming forward, and it's going to be really, really incredible as we see the teams up. And I mean, look at this goal difference.
Oh my gosh, the goal
Sixty
differential.
A bit more consistency in
Oh
there.
my
So
God.
while stylistically,
Like, well, I think
similar
lost one
on either
game
side of the bracket, I
during
do
the
think
Open
there's kind of micro adjustments these teams are going to need to make in order to play against one another.
Yeah, that they are. As I mean, looking at Lake Wales and
Just
Palm Beach,
imagine
they're
having
forward,
a
and it's going to be really, really incredible as we see the teams up. And I mean, look at this goal differential.
Plus 60.
versus 10 across the board. And I mean, that just goes to show how dominant Lake Wales is as a team. And we're going to get into games soon as these teams face off.
Wow.
All right, game number one kicking off here of the final day of the EGF High School National Championship. It's Lake Wales up against the Wildcats. Best of 5 series, so it's going to take 3 games to win this thing. Teams are into the long haul.
The Wildcat or
Turkey, though,
Palm Beach?
I believe he just had a mistake right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
it's
quick,
the
very
retro
early on,
ram.
and this is just what happens sometimes when you have those cuts. Is we're
Retro
seeing
Rams
moves
Black
and aggression
is a team
by
name
the
from
Rams,
Palm Beach
but the
High
trouble
School.
is when you have that precision on your cuts, it becomes that much more difficult to guard or even
But
attack into. As Palm Beach down early.
I don't think it's Palm Beach.
Well, put out wide now. Jaden to lay it back down. A
Yeah,
dangerous
extreme
position, 1v1 in the goal.
BNCito
It's gonna be
and
put back out wide.
Chungus is.
Safety is yet
Oh,
to be
they
found
don't-
here for the orange side of the pitch.
They don't have their main lineup for this game?
A double command to the corner
Really?
as well. They need to make something of this. But Turkey again, just good control, getting the ball out of their hands. Finally, 30 seconds into the game, the Rams were able to build something out of the back, and all for not shut
Yeah,
down.
that's
the
Palm
midfield.
Beach. So
shut
yeah,
down
it
the
was.
midfield, and that's
it was
where you're going to
wrong.
want to watch. Is the Rams like to build most of their plays either out of the corner, infield passes, or looking for an outlet towards a player like JB King Gamer. Whereas again, Lake
I
Wales
do-
comfortable from all positions.
I gotta give credit where credit's due. Some of the shots that they're getting on the player cams, literally below the table between the legs of the player utilizing the controller. Little avant-garde, but let me tell you,
Yeah.
those are the shots on camera. That's how you know you're a professional at what you do.
In a shot.
You're able to get those shots without it being creepy. Woo, boy, you're good at your job.
Barely deflected off the crossbar.
I mean, you have at least the screen a little bit with it.
Drop back out. Durkee down. Good ball control. This is what we're looking for out of these teams, right? Not only able to hit the touch on the ball,
Ooh.
but also able to knock it out wide into safety, into their teammates' hands. They can make dangerous shots come out of nowhere, just like this. Ian Zito over top, tries to play off the backboard. That's maybe the third time now that we've seen the Retro Rams with nothing in the back line to defend these goals. The simple shot will be lobbed in, but it's an easy save for Ian Zito, who's got plenty of boost to do so. Now trying to create a 2-on-1 isolation. They do, there it is, using the numbers advantage to blow up one car and escort that ball in.
Yeah, and this is what you're going to see a lot of the time. If that second man picks up the ball, that front man heading straight for the goaltender. And this is why Lake Wales's counterattacks are so lethal. Everyone can pick up the ball no matter what position they're in, and they understand demolition set pieces. They understand these infield passing plays, and it means that the Rams are going to have to be ready for every single one of these options from the Highlanders, but they might have a breakaway opportunity. Ian barely saves it.
Ian's been all over the field. Usually we're seeing him in the other goal. But having him playing goalkeeper right now is pretty solid. Usually Rocket League, you don't have any kind of defined positions. It's more important that you keep cars rotating around the field at any given point in time. But you can see it's been in the back more often than not. And a quick counterattack. Durkee just gets past it, catching me off guard. To be completely honest, no right did he have to take this one down the line. But just catches a great timing on the defense. Finds the shot, 3-0 up.
Yeah, and you can see the Rams just a little too far forward. They're trying to be aggressive, but
I think
the
there's
trouble
too much
is that
stuff on the screen.
I would agree, but at the same time, I also understand.
Just an inch of space if you're not challenging every single possession.
Yeah, they want to highlight the player more than the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
That Lake Wales is putting together, they're going to be able to do things like that. Flick it right past your last man, and again,
What is that
find
shot?
the back of the net as we've got 3 goals in just 2 minutes.
The mouth. Camera shot.
I'm not even sure he's actually coming. That might have just been a nervous twitch.
And the back of the head.
I'm up. There we go. Back of the head. Back of the head. That's what we're talking about. Yep. I'm up. Me. Left, right. All the way up and down.
Switch camera.
We've got to switch camera.
Is what they have. Yeah.
Goal you don't see happen too often at this level, as the teams are usually good enough to keep that ball from ever even crossing the goal. But here's a more dangerous one. Ball's crossed in. Still, more players lurk outside. Durkee looking for the opportunity. Isn't able to get there quite in time as the ball is cleared. But the boost bars are low for Retro Rams. They've got nothing to work with, and so the pace of play for them is so slow. You can see LWHS are running circles around them. It's been practically a minute since the Rams have touched the ball, and finally they get a decent clear, but it's pinged right back into their territory.
Yeah, and you're seeing just these beautiful offensive rotations out of the Highlanders. They're seeing these corner boosts spawn. They're finding every single mid boost they can, because remember, those canisters, they give you 100. The little pads on the ground are just 12, so if you're picking up pads, you're not able to have those breakout opportunities. And it feels like every time we see a Ram POV, they're at 0 boost.
Oh no, Durkee's created so many opportunities. Almost gets the redirect on the goal as well. Durkee, so far, has just been a highlight player in that attacking half, whether it's been demolitions, whether it's been bumps, whether it's been stealing that boost, or finding shots on target. So far, just putting up an incredible performance in game number 1. But Ice King trying to figure out what to do with this ball out of the corner, but unfortunately, again, just pressured out by having too many numbers. An attempted bump nearly causes a goal to go in. They do manage to dodge Ian Cito. I don't think he caught the flip reset.
Oh my god!
Oh my god. He did have the flip reset.
I don't think he caught the flippery. Oh, he did!
Yeah.
It makes the goalkeeper look a little silly. This is what it does, being able to redirect the ball last second here.
I thought
Absolutely
he had the
gorgeous.
2 wheels on that.
He actually held it from the very, like, the onset. He flicked at the very last possible second.
You think so? I think that was too late.
And you're seeing, almost every single Ram go up for.
Howdy, Powder. How you doing?
Good. How about you?
We're doing fairly well. We had a couple people, and then we had nobody. We're currently doing VOD review of the EGF High School National Championships that were held in Orlando.
Okay.
But it was actually broadcasted on ESPN.
Yeah, I saw that.
So,
ESPN 3 and ESPN Plus, right?
yeah. I mean, that's pretty stinking cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that means that there are more ESPN things in the future. May or may not be, but I don't know. It is a feels bad because you had 3 journeyman casters from various spots. I mean, I know all 3 of them decently, but not a single one of them is the main game Rocket League. Although Septilence, you could almost argue Septilence is just straight up. Septilence is straight up. I will cast any game you put in front of me.
Yeah.
And he's really good at that. So I give him credit. He's one of the.
He's more into Smash than any other game.
Yes. Oh yes. So the fun thing, Septilence and J Turbo, I have both met in person. It was in Nebraska for a unified LAN, and if I remember right, it was Septilence. We didn't have it on stream, but there was a little offstage spot where they were doing Smash. So like you'd have Smash on a main stage with a potential audience, just no official casters. Septilence, J Turbo, and I all sitting in the relative front row, and we just freestyle cast for the fun of it. All just sitting there, and nobody else can hear us outside of the crowd that is within 2 rows of us, and we're just having fun with it. So that was about my introduction, about the only time you'll ever hear me cast Smash, just because I understand how much that crowd dislikes the people who don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, I can only imagine with that community.
Like Septilence, and I in that specific spot, I was, literally like, okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's have a little bit of fun with it. And then I was also apologetic. I'm like, yeah, I know nothing about Smash. We're just gonna have fun here, and I apologize if I offend anybody. I literally just said that out loud. And he was so good at what he did. All the while, it was babying me, and I had 2 or 3 people just rolling their eyebrows behind me with some of the things that I was saying. I was just like, what is wrong with this guy?
He did a part of the Smash tournament at the 7-2, but we were not on ESPN.
Yeah, he's very good at Smash.
Yeah, I never met him in person, but I worked with him a lot through EGF.
Flip when you can just redirect the ball right around any defender who tries to challenge. It means that they have to commit before you do. And when you have these artists on the side of Lake Wales, it is very, very difficult to defend.
It's crazy how close that was. I could have sworn he only got 2.
I get the feeling that's why they get utilized so much for EGF, because you look at all 3 people that they had on that. Door is a multi-game caster, J Turbo multi-game caster, Septilence multi-game caster. And really decent, when I say decent, I mean above average desk presence from all 3 of them. So like they were really good in the spot.
2 wheels on the ball, but just
at least from what I observed. Go ahead.
That's Tyler that chose them.
Yeah.
By the way, because they were fly there. Like all expense paid and all that.
That is awesome.
So Tyler had to choose 3 out of like I don't know how many apply for this one.
That is flipping amazing. Yeah, I think they represented esports fairly well. I wish they would have had someone who was a Rocket League expert on this cast, but at the same time, I respect the effort of all 3 individuals who were part of this cast.
I think in EGF right now, think the most experienced caster for Rocket League would be Taco or Squid.
Yeah.
That second flip in. It's so difficult. Now to
But
apply
they don't do
more pressure.
AGF anymore.
LWHS certainly feeling themselves after a goal like that.
Well, that's a shame. Maybe it'll open up for me.
It's just low rate pay. That's why.
What
It's 18 an hour.
18 an hour.
Hmm.
Oof.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that for a land like this, or is that just for online casting?
For
the online. I don't know how much
online?
they got paid for that one.
Okay.
I mean, 18
Yeah,
an hour. That's not bad.
It's not
That's
the worst.
That's about $7 below what I would normally minimum.
Yeah.
And I get paid more because I'm a producer.
Hey, produce away.
I think we get like $4 more.
Yeah, I'll probably go to their online application at the very least. Hang out with them. Figure things out.
Yeah,
What days do they normally do it? Pass. I heard Wednesday, but
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
Ah, okay.
Depending on the game that you want to cast.
So what is Rocket League? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Rocket League is Wednesday. Screw that.
Mhm.
Daggone. It's always gotta be a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday is not the best day for me, schedule-wise.
Saturday, Sunday is League of Legends.
Ah.
Tuesday is chess.
Oh. Wait, I want to shoutcast chess. Let's go.
Yeah, we have chess. Let me check the master schedule.
We got
Valorant too.
We got Extreme
Valorant,
coming in. Oh, it's a Queen's Gambit. It's a Queen's Gambit. That's what I'm talking about. Just be completely out of place. Full on shoutcast. Oh, mercy.
Friday was Valorant. Valorant was Friday, Saturday. Okay, that's Valorant. FIFA Monday. Smash Tuesday. Rocket League is Wednesday. After that, we have
They need to switch it to a different day than Wednesday. That's if you're
Overwatch is Thursday.
if you're listening to this, Viking, if you're listening to this, switch it. I'll be there.
I don't think so.
Switch
There's
it to
CS:GO on Friday too.
Switch it to Thursday. I'll be there. Don't worry. I got you. I will play for peanuts.
There's a lot of games.
Yeah, certainly
If you are a caster that wants to learn like many game, that's a good.
Yeah,
good
EGF
way
is a
of learning.
perfect place to go.
Yeah, you have chess, FIFA, Smash, Rocket League, Overwatch, CS:GO, Valorant, League of Legends.
Chess, though.
Chess. Do you want me to send you the application?
Oh, please go ahead. I would
Can you
appreciate
send it over
the
to me as well,
application.
please?
Yeah.
Okay.
And folks, here's a perfect example of making contacts and applying yourself. We're gonna do it here live on the casting workshop. It's as simple as talking to people, finding out what they are, what they do, and applying yourself. Congratulations. That's the casting workshop. See you later. No.
There's a spot for a reel on here. I need to update my reel. I've been putting it off way too long.
And like I said to Kendo Ponder, normally the biggest wait I had to wait for to get paid by EGF was like 4 days.
That's
the
actually,
longest one.
that is literally insane.
Normally it's the same day. Like whenever you finish, you
What?
send your invoice. It's the same day.
That's actually insane. Wow.
That's a good thing about them.
Yeah.
It's maybe low, but at least you get paid really fast.
Yeah. True. Instead of some places, yeah.
Yeah. Welcome in esports. They have high school and college. We had like some team in Rocket League that were doing CCA too. So when you see mismatches, when you see a UTA play against, I don't know what team, Connecticut, just freestyle on them for 3 games.
Let's not put down the University of Connecticut. Come on.
They're still pretty good.
5-0. It'd be hard pressed for the Rams
compared
to try and
to
come back from this one.
UTA,
But what they need to do is take this next minute, take stock of how the Highlanders are playing, and if they can start to read the infield passes, if they can start to figure out the ways that they're using these aggressive rotations to starve boost, it means in game 2, those options won't be available. And again, the Rams might have more offensive potential as JB gets a dangerous ball out of the box.
Yeah, we talked yesterday about having a scary, deep tool bag, like just straight out of Mary Poppins, and being able to pull anything out of it that you need at any given point in time. It feels like Lake Wales right now have taken that bag
Straight
and
out of
just
Mary
flipped it
Poppins.
over and dumped it all out onto the table. It's boost stealing, it's demos, it's pressure on the back line, it's rotations, it's passes,
no!
it's everything to this team, and Ian Cito's just the cherry on top.
I mean, Ian the cherry on top, but the worst part is JB gets caught on this front post rotation and just knocks it in. That own goal's got a sting, but again, keep those mental strong.
It hurts.
If you are the Retro Rams, because
it hurts.
This is a 5-game series.
By the way, we have the caster has special condition to not say anything bad about the players during this one.
I had that in HSCL as well. Like, yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. It can be
it's high
tough
school.
at some. Yeah, it was this. Yeah, because it's high school, they don't want you putting them down, which with some of the play can be kind of hard. But usually, if you just build it up in any sort of positive or even a neutral sense whatsoever, they're fine with it. So.
Which, I mean, that's fairly easy.
Yeah.
If anything, taking the teachable route is always a good way in high school broadcasts.
True. I mean, Lake Wales doesn't need teaching anyway.
This is still, remember, Rocket League.
Honestly, I think you saw
in that physicality when you start looking a great.
That wouldn't be Rocket League opportunities. What did you see on the sidelines?
What did you see on the sidelines?
Durkee was the one who came out. I was expecting more Ian Cito. Of course, he did show up. Wow. Okay. I didn't expect a blowout in game 1. Tell me, what does Palm Beach have to do to adjust?
I think that the biggest
yes,
thing
please
that
tell
is
us.
They weren't ready for those boost stealing tactics. They weren't ready to have so few resources in their back line. So if they can start looking for maybe some aggressive midfield,
I live to be informed, J-Turb.
It allows them to create some space. It lets them have a breather, because when you're getting strangled of boost over and over again, it feels like there's nothing that you can do. But if you were proactive, you get those demos out before they get into your back line, it lets you have that breathing room, lets you get some proactive clears, and have the potential for some breakout opportunities.
Yeah, I really think it's like the best metaphor I can think of is, right, you're used to just juggling balls, right? Keeping them up in the air, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this.
No, nobody's used to juggling balls. Dadgummit door.
Handful of them at you, and all of a sudden it becomes really hard.
They have an MLB. You can cast MLB the show. I'm 100% choosing
tossing them up and get them into the
I don't think there is MLB.
Oh no, unfortunate. Oh well. I still put it down just in case.
The right things to toss up in the air, the right things to start juggling like a demo. It could be huge. A shot is in.
Oh no!
Sketchy save from Jaden. Should have been kind of just textbook. Should have been nice and easy for him, but almost.
Yeah, very close, and we saw off that kickoff some attempts at physicality in the midfield. not giving these players space to breathe, because it feels like when Lake Wales gets comfortable, they start to take their time. They start to really look for these flashy plays because they know that they can do it. They know they have the mechanical ability. But if you start getting in their face, if you start making it so that they have no balls that they feel comfortable taking up, it means they're going to have to adjust their play. They're going to look for these midfield and infield passes. And if you can start to cut those lines off as they adjust, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams can start to score.
Certainly keeping the ball out of their own net for the time being. They're looking for a pinch off their own player. Now that's a creative play.
I give them credit. Like they put together a really good hybrid back and forth. There was a lot of story building. There was a lot of scenario pushed out. There was also a lot of fluff pushed out, but it wasn't a bad cast by any stretch of the imagination. So what are you doing, Powder? What you got cooking this week?
What do I have cooking this week? A lot of work. That's really about it. Oh, actually, I go camping at the end of the week, so I got to pack for that.
You go camping?
Yes.
Interesting. Like what type of camping?
It's kind of like glamping because it's like a big trailer my mom owns. So we're going down to Turkey Run State Park in Indiana. Kind of like 10 miles from the Illinois border, but we're looking forward to it. We haven't gone there yet, but there's a bunch of trails to hike down in the valleys down there, so we're really looking forward to it.
Well, if you see a wild Grant CFO, try not to tip it, but if you do, let me know and get a picture. You know, I do appreciate it when people tip Grant CFOs in their natural habitat. Chances are you won't see anything like that. No, I literally have, at the end of this week, I do a youth camp. Every year I end up working a youth camp, so I'm going to be gone for an entire week. Oh, ENC.
Oh.
Alexa, play Ian Cito. Ian Cito. The defense don't know what to do.
But to be fair, it's the Season 3 SSL title. So maybe he didn't get it the other season. S4? Season 4.
Yeah, Season 4 Supersonic Legend, though. I mean, if you get an SSL title, you're goated at this point.
Yeah.
The normal one, like this one, yes.
SSL literally is that difficult to hit.
Yeah, but SSL tournament is not that big.
Yes. Like, this dude had a legit SSL straight up title.
Yeah.
Like that. So that means you're hovering around that 1850, 1900 range. You're bumping tires with Danger Taco and making him curse in the wind.
He didn't even get it last season.
I know.
To be fair, he didn't play much. He had a lot more casting than he played.
I love DT streams when he's actually trying to grind.
And he loses.
And he loses and he goes through like this existential crisis, and the rants that he does are second to none. I know it's sadistic, but I truly enjoy his pain.
Every single season too.
Like, why is it always like this?
Every single season. Every single season he said, I won't get it. It's too hard. I will stay in like 1700. And then by the end of the season, he succeed normally. And Palm Beach played pretty good on this game. Much more than the other one.
Interesting.
If there wasn't a challenge from the Highlanders, as now an awkward clear nearly a
Oh, Kendall, you didn't say if Steve Buscemi was
No, I didn't find out. I didn't see it.
okay.
Like he went to a different high school according to the Wikipedia.
But it's starting to feel like
Yeah,
it
okay.
won't quite send itself into at least a win. We've seen this often this weekend, though. The Rams.
Because we asked the captain the reason why they had this name, and he said he's a great actor, so and they needed a name, so I picked this one.
I love it.
Oh, but by the way, Pounder, if you don't know, there's a team in this tournament. Their team name is the Steve Buscemi Fan Club.
So you literally got the retro Rams, you got the Highlanders, you got the Wildcats, you got the Steve Buscemi fan club.
Bagpiper, Dawnbringer.
Look at their little fan club out.
Like Wales! Go, Mom!
Players, their family members. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, and you know that point you bring up about family members. That's one of I think the best moments that we've seen across this entire weekend is parents, families. I remember seeing there was an entire squad of family.
Literally though, that is one of my favorite things about live events. I go out of my way. If there's a family, I go out of my way to introduce myself, to talk to them, and thank them, especially if it's parents with their kids. We're like, thank you for supporting your child. I wish that I had that growing up. So y'all are inspirations to me.
Like I play American football, and my dad always went to see the games. Every single games.
That's awesome.
Even do more than that. It was like like the 6. It was one of them when we had like home games for like the 10 yards. You have the best view when you're there, right on the sideline.
Ooh.
Meliodas?
It's probably the closest they've been to nailing that all day.
They did Melioda all Friday. But even like Friday, they said Melios.
Highlanders fighting against him is a game of inches. Easy lays the ball up. Dirty. Ball out.
Ooh, excuse me.
Only so much though. Good clear here by the Retro Rams. They can capitalize, but no. Only 2 players remain to try and make their way into the opposing side of the pitch. Instead, they're just going to bring the ball back. Great control there, though. Taking that demo and pulling the ball back into their control, playing very patiently.
Bowder, if you have anything you'd like as far as like questions, or if you wanted me to do a VOD review for you, we can kind of shift the gear of what I'm currently doing.
Nah, I haven't done any more casts since last week, so I don't have another VOD. But I mean, the only thing I was gonna say is you pointed out, so because neither of these guys you said are like Rocket League experts, but like this is a freaking good cast considering neither of them might like main Rocket League.
Yeah.
Like if you were to just like if I were to just have walked into this match with zero context, I would have never guessed that they aren't Rocket League mains because they just can handle themselves that well in the booth.
Yeah. And it gives 2 things. One, this is my personal belief. If you're confident and you bring your personality, anyone can cast anything. Like it literally is anyone can cast. Now, will the average viewer be like, these people don't exactly like, if they've listened to other Rocket League casts before, they're gonna know what's up to snuff and what's not.
Yeah.
So you may be a little bit criticized in a chat, but as far as a broadcast going off, I truly believe you give your best foot forward, you bring the positivity, you bring the energy, all that other stuff comes with practice. But all three of the people that they had for this, Door, J Turbo, Septilence, is all extremely well seasoned in multiple esports.
Mhm.
Like they know what the heck they're doing.
Yeah.
And
it's not that they don't know the game at all. They still know.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
A fair bit of
I mean,
Ryan.
J Turbo is someone who, after the Nebraska side, was literally like, "Hey, you know, you literally told me, hey, you were an inspiration. I need to get into Rocket League. That is such a cool game." So it's amazing to see J Turbo in this role here.
Mhm.
Like a year to year and a half later, acting upon it, and you're on ESPN. There you go. What?
Not trying to over-aggress is absolutely the right call, but LWHS, they're doing exactly what they did yesterday. Those proactive adjustments, right? Bringing out the demos to try and shut down that midfield pressure early.
Yeah, but a lot of uncharacteristic misses in this corner. A lot of disorganization from both teams. And I'm going to say, I think this favors the Rams because the Highlanders love to be organized. But
no, he's got it again.
It's disgusting.
Their families are watching.
Flip reset. God, these days. Catches another one, puts it past the goalkeeper.
Wow.
At this point, he makes him look easy.
Yeah, makes him look easy, makes it look like just a simple open net, really, because it feels like it is when you give this player that much space. But the thing is, we haven't been seeing Lake Wales given really any opportunities to go for those kinds of plays, maybe one or two a game. You're not seeing the same as we did yesterday, where, you know, you're having these artistic moments that these players are just showing up, showing out. They're forced to do it exactly when they have enough space, and only then, because otherwise there will be a counterattack from the Rams.
I actually appreciate the positive light presentation right there. And they probably could have painted it even more for the Retro Rams. But it's like, you look at this team, game number 1, they got schlocked 8-0.
6-8-0.
Yeah, it was rough. But they've gotten used to the speed. They've gotten used to the pace.
At the start of the broadcast.
Yeah.
Like 60-10. Goal.
60 plus 60 goal differential to plus 10 in goal differential. So I was like, yeah, one of these teams is not like the other. Oh. That would have been a pretty daunting stat to present.
By the way, this is not the team that did 45 goals when I broadcast.
Wow.
Rams have an opportunity. The one big thing I'm seeing right now is just LWH's ability to play higher. Right, mechanics are a huge gap in Rocket League. While I think Rams have been able to keep up in pace of the game since game number 2, when it comes to getting that ball,
It's another really good spot.
So many of those flip reset plays is because LWHS just has the mechanics to play higher, just like this. And you know, Rams, you want to challenge earlier, but if you can't get up there quickly enough, if you can't fly to the heights that Extreme Jaden can at that pace, you're going to get beat to the ball every time, and it's going to make for a lot more scary shots.
Yeah, no, Extreme having some real pinpoint precision, that is not an easy shot to make.
No.
Those angles are incredibly tight. Understanding that you have to get it wide enough to get past the defense and tight enough to still stay inside that far post. It's not an easy shot to make, and we're seeing again that precision, but as you mentioned, the height, that mechanical ability, that confidence really is what comes into play, because in Rocket League, it is a game about confidence. If you feel you can hit every single shot, they're all going to hit the net. If you're afraid of hitting the posts, well, they're going nowhere near that net.
Oh, be a weird goal. They're okay though. Durkee's able to put this one out wide. Good control for the team. Halfway through the game, 2 goals of difference again. Oh, great Lobo by Durkee. Takes it past all 3 of them. Phenomenal dribbling play.
Oh my.
This one, 1, 2, 3 players beat, all of them lifeless in the corner, and he trounces over their axles.
Yeah, and in that solid blue Fennec, I thought Durkee was grudgy.
That might have been an oversell. Just a little bit. It trounces over their ashes.
I thought he said axles, or did he say ashes?
I think he said ashes.
I thought he said ashes. I'm like,
Slow yourself down, be able to start that engine, slow it down,
Tell me you cast Mortal Kombat without telling me you cast Mortal Kombat.
Rams unable to find a clear here, and the boost has been stolen, I believe, from both corners by the Highlanders. So it's going to be here.
Oh, that was close.
They pick up another corner boost. Durkee continues to mount the pressure. High ball. All they're looking to do is just punish this backboard.
If Durkee would have focused trying to recover off the ceiling, that would have been perfect.
And again, Jaden catches the timing on the corner. I want to note this isn't.
Man, you're still young. You have time to.
I know.
This is fully intentional. They know these timers internally.
You're like what?
And they're moving to those positions
15?
at the times that they're popping up.
Exactly. And one
I
thing
mean, yes, not everybody's beast mode, but
canister really that Lake Wales
I'd like it if everybody was beast mode.
back every time they run out, and they will have those midfield canisters. Their backline canisters just ready and waiting to continue that attack as a shot on goal, comfortably saved by JB, but the pressure doesn't stop now.
Yeah, they've got to find a way out, which is difficult, right? When you don't have boost, the problem compounds itself. It could end in a goal. One more shot out could do it. It was a big double commit to try and save that last one. Up off the back wall, but no, nothing found. 1 minute left, and this could be Retro Rams tournament life on the line. Ball down line. Jaden with the opportunity. There's got to be a counterattack here for the Rams. DB looking for it. JB King getting it, no finish. Ball down line.
Oof.
Clear by LWHS. The Highlanders try and take this one into a finish. One more will.
They're trying to keep it positive, trying to keep it Phyllis and positive.
Pressure starting to mount on them.
Still 3-0, 30 seconds left.
Slip through their fingers as the Highlanders just about secure themselves a spot in the grand finals.
That they do. The Highlanders, one of the favorites again going into this tournament from the regular season. Showing up in Season 10 just this spring split as one of, if not the best teams in all of EGFH. Oh my goodness, is right now the Rams, they put on a great performance. Also their first season, certainly showing up where if you can go in your first season, be in the top 4 on land in Orlando, that's a feat of its own.
Getting here was quite the task. We saw the bracket all before this. The quarterfinals were intense in a lot of ways, but the group stage just as much so. These teams were playing back and forth. And for Rams, I think they should be more than happy with what they put out today. They should be proud of the performance that they put on in front of their peers, in front of their parents, and for their school.
Yeah, exactly. This is a huge moment for the Rams, and it's going to be just a great moment of recognition as, if I'm not mistaken, this school brought multiple rosters, and again, they're showing up, they're showing out, they're finding these moments, and for your first season to top 4 in such a competitive league, it's incredible. But Lake Wales, this is just another day at the office for them.
It really does look like it. They make it look so easy. Those flip resets look so casual. The dribbles on the ground. You just have to understand, when you're on the ground, the other players have so much more time to react to the moves that you're bringing out at them as well. It is really, really hard to get it past, and it just kind of puts into perspective the lethality that this team has and how unstoppable they are. The second you give them any space with the ball, whether it's in the back line, whether it's from the half, they're dominating, Gracie.
So Palm Beach Lakes, the Rams came in here as maybe a sleeper pick for some people. They just got swept. I mean, are you surprised at all? What did they do wrong, or were they just simply outplayed by, you know, a masterclass team of the Highlanders?
I'm going to say, I think that they were a sleeper to even make it this far. You know, a lot of people were just looking at that raw top 8. They were seeing teams like the Vikings, the Sheehan Titans, these teams that have, you know, storied histories in EGF, and finding that there are these newcomers on the block that just show up, go crazy on land. And when you have those types of teams that sort of come out of nowhere, and
there we go. We got the camera back.
are really struggling to respond, I think that this is still an accomplishment for them. But
They have interviewed you live.
They are just so clean, so tight.
I think Sentinel's
if the
doing it.
Rams were able to take a game off of them, might have been impressed. But this was still the tightest series we saw up against the Highlanders. They did not drop a game this entire weekend, and almost every single game they had a goal differential of, you know, 5 or more. So the fact that they had, you know, a 2-goal game, 3-goal game, practically, with that 4th just being in the last couple seconds, it was a very good showing.
Yeah, it really feels like it is just kind of the Highlanders gap in a large number of ways. But like you were talking about, Rams put up a really good
No, I don't know. That's why you're telling me, J-Turb. Come on, man. I say that. It's tongue-in-cheek. But, yeah. The you-knows. Cut them out. Dang,
I'm pretty sure Lake Wales lost 1 game.
1 game. Did it come in the final?
today, but also for their seeing coming in upsetting.
No.
You your guy.
The difference
It wasn't in the final.
No.
Oh, my.
It was a
reset god. So can you guys talk about
I don't know in the finals. I didn't saw the
against Lake
what,
Wales, or if it's
the
look for
Oh, my.
even be received. There was a point I tried to make last series. Flying high-scoring games, or we're going to have 4 overtimes, 7 overtimes with 1 point on the board. I really do think that is very likely because these teams are playing at such a similar caliber. This is
Said Lake Wales won?
where the highest seed is going against the lowest. This is the 2 remaining teams
Versus Hilltopper?
that we have to offer here this weekend going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, they lost to the team is called Sour Lime. So it's not this one. So I don't know if they. I didn't saw the finals. I don't know how it ends. But I know Lake Wales winning this.
What kind of saves they can go for. They know their spacing, and right here, Reggie stealing away that boost, not allowing those mechanics to come out from the Highlanders.
A boost drop might go a really long way because both these teams love to play quick, and you need a boost to be playing quick. So if either of them has the insight to see forward and look and, hey, maybe get rid of the thing that makes them go quick, right? Maybe get rid of the thing that makes them go quick to score a goal there in game 1. That's going to be Trizen coming in early. We've only got a minute 50 off the clock in Lake Wales. They're already a little bit lower on the scoreboard than they're used to.
Machine gun Septilance over here. Don't got it. Don't got it.
And a great start. It might be that, again, the Hilltoppers, they're fresh off their last series. They're ready to
Okay.
and they've been
The cameraman's doing work again.
Oh boy.
It's still better than the mouth shot that we had.
That is very true.
and they're riding that energy.
Yeah, you were not there, but one of the shots on the camera we had before was only the mouth of a player.
Is there to say that I thought Extreme John had an open goal to take advantage of, but unfortunately, that goal just a little too close.
Oh, okay. I love the lean from the guy on the right camera.
Is there to say that I thought Extreme John had an open goal to take advantage of, but unfortunately, that goal just a little too close.
Just a little lean, like.
Defenders are rocking and rolling in that midfield. 2:40 on the clock. We are just now entering the second half of game 1. Will they win by a single point, or are they gonna make it 2? Coming in quick to Hill.
Nice.
What happened there?
2-0 lead, just shy.
It was a kill.
And Rudgy again. See, look at this. Tries and sets
Wow.
looks
Yeah,
for a 50,
I knew
but
there was
instead
something
Rudgy
strange in that
slows
one.
down the pace of play, looks for the dunk, and it is just the right decision to make. As now 2-0 up, Lake Wales facing their first challenge, and it could be that the Hilltoppers are our Godslayers.
Kill with a dunk.
It would be amazing to say the least, Turbo. To see somebody take a game on Lake Wales would be a first. That's something we haven't seen in ages. It looks like they are just getting warmed up. The Hilltoppers 3-0. We just entered the second half, and Lake Wales, they just cannot get their little wheels on the ball.
It's not something we haven't seen in ages. It's something
Their
we haven't
little
seen pretty
wheels?
much at all. The only team to take games, period, off of this squad are the Hilltoppers. The only team to take a series, they don't exist. There isn't a single one in EGF, and I've got a feeling that to find one, you're going to have to get into the collegiate scene, as these boys are absolutely incredible and risky finding this one. It seems that the Highlanders may be a little cold after that break and are using this game to warm up, figuring out the Hilltoppers as they're still riding that heat from the last series.
You know, I talked about it, and I was a little bit scared because they got to do one of 2 things. They got to watch the Hilltoppers and not stay warmed up, or stay warmed up and kind of not get to pay full attention to that last series. Looks like they paid full attention to the series, but their hands just not with their brains. Rudgy, though, my man is sinking them like they're free. Already we've got 4-0 in favor of the Hilltoppers, excuse me. And it's about to be 5-0. That's another open goal, Turbo. That's another, at least the third.
It's funny how
And one thing that I'm seeing
the Hilltoppers just like will win this game probably by a lot, and this Lake Wales still win this series.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm very
It's one
interested to see how this goes.
that if you watch the way that the Highlanders like to play
Yeah,
in
but
this
I need to go
midfield,
eat.
one
So
of the-
on that note,
Alright, pass.
I'm out.
Appreciate you, man. Have a wonderful night.
Yeah,
See ya.
you too.
up on the
See ya.
wall, look for that small infield pass down, and
Oh, there we go. We got the cam again.
plays materialize, they're cutting them off, and they're
It's gotta be on purpose.
That's what the Hilltoppers
Oh,
do.
yeah.
At least a little.
Boys at what they're doing.
Oh, we got
ESPN we got Focus Cam. Let's go. We got ESPN Productions. Love it.
Excuse me, to really take ball control. Nobody lost a teammate, or nobody kept one rather, so both teams at that disadvantage. We are just now getting down to our final 100 seconds of game 1, with a 5-0 lead on the board. Lake Wales definitely in a tough spot.
Yeah, very tough spot, but again, game 1, a little bit cold. Some teams take a minute to warm up, as now Tricky, maybe looking for one for morale, but still, this next minute 30, it's a matter of if they're reading our set pieces, if they're reading our infield passes, maybe we need to get
This is one of those
every
tough points where you can tell they're like trying to find positive things to say and not just kind of rag on them. And it's that really tough part where it's kind of hard to find those when it's 5-0 with a minute left still. Not that they are playing bad, but it's just tough to try to find those to spin it into positives.
Then it's also been countless amounts of games that are exactly like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that is the real goal. Is again, you just want to sink one. You want to see what's the adjustment we need to make, because as we saw in the first minute and now in the last minute, Lake Wales are starting to pressure into that orange half. It hasn't materialized any scoring opportunities, but at the very least, they're holding these goats back. They're not letting those horns sink too deep. They might be trying to brandish their swords as the Encito sinks one in.
Now this is what I'm worried about. If you're a Hilltoppers fan, you get a little bit worried. You're looking at the 5-1 score line. You're like, oh, we've got this.
You get a little bit worried. Just a little bit.
Warmed up early. That's definitely something to keep an eye out on.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that, again, this is just the heat and the speed that you get from winning a best-of-5. I mean, there is nothing more exhilarating than having, you know, your tournament life decided right in front of you by your own hand, and then getting to play on that same stage just minutes later. Able to ride that heat, have your family, your friends, and all of your fans coming down from New Jersey. I mean, what a trip to show off for these teams. What a commitment from those families.
Yeah, and I mean, Lake Wales, you know, this is kind of interesting. Lake Wales, semi-local, right? A team a little more familiar with the area. I know we've got somebody all the way from New Jersey giving them an absolute run for their money. 3 seconds left on the clock. The Hilltoppers walking away with our first game victory of Grand Finals.
Yeah, and we can see, we talk about how the Highlanders like to play in the air, and right there, they're saying, okay, our midfield passes on the ground won't work. Let's put them into the air. Redirect nearly on target. I've got a feeling it's going to get that much more precise the deeper we go into this series.
We've got a little bit of interaction here. We can see the Highlanders talking a little bit. What do we need to change? What do we need to do different? And honestly, they've just got to get in the face, get a little bit more aggressive.
So it was like you mentioned before we went into game one, it was rust, not rest, when you're sitting back there for a long time. Hands got cold. You guys talked about a boost drought. The Hilltoppers, or Rudgy specifically, stealing a boost from the Highlanders. How significant?
What are your thoughts on like having the host come in between games like this? Because I haven't actually. I guess didn't Level Next kind of do that with their? I can't remember who did it, but didn't they have like the host come in between games and kind of provide a little bit of analysis and ask some questions?
It's a very outside esport thought process.
Mm-hmm.
So like you go to, you know, Halo, the Halo LAN.
Mm-hmm.
They had the desk and the two casters completely separate from each other.
Mm-hmm.
So opposite ends, you know, you got what you would normally expect is separation. I think if you're gonna do it, they did it right here by having them all on one desk and broadcasting from that one desk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an ESPN presentation, so you're going to have someone who's mediating the thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that person isn't necessarily a necessity, like the two commentators could do it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's, like I said, it's a very ESPN thought process. I think she's doing an okay job.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, like she's giving us little tidbits that they can reset and rehash, and I think when you have a made-for-TV product, educating the people who never seen Rocket League before would be a really good thing. So that is what that is mainly there to do. So that like they'll wind up. That was a pretty. It's a pretty. You know, T-ball question. It's like, the boost steal. Tell us a little bit about what's going on there. It's like, why is that important?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't mind it that much. At first, I was like, well, isn't this kind of like breaking up like the action? But I'm like, oh, you got like a minute anyway, and it does kind of provide like a little more of a professional feel, like you said, like made for TV. It's ESPN, so
yeah.
I don't honestly mind it, and like you said, I think they're doing it well by having it be a desk when it's online with the level next, I wasn't really a huge fan of that kind of setup, to be honest. Even though you see them all together, it just doesn't feel right in online. But like seeing this on LAN at an actual desk, I actually kind of like it.
Yeah, from what I understand, actual ESPN studio within the facility that they were at, which is insane to think about. So it's like, hey, congratulations, Sleeky's still the only person who's... No, I'm joking. But you got three casters who can brag that, hey, there was this one time that I was on ESPN.
Yeah.
Feeling a boost from the Highlanders. How significant is that?
I mean, incredibly, especially.
How significant is that?
You use the boost to get demolitions to go faster than the traditional car speed, and it really puts your team.
Wait, what? Were you asking me, or is that just?
No. I'm just.
You guys talked about a boost drought.
This is. Think of it like volleyball. She's setting. She's setting for the spiker.
Especially the caliber.
Yeah. Okay.
You use the boost to get demolitions to go faster than the traditional car speed, and it really puts your team often in an advantageous position. So Rudgy going out of his way to guarantee as little boost as possible for the opposing team makes them slow, keeps them behind, and makes them much easier to demo.
Yeah, and beyond that, all of these flashy plays that we've seen out of the Highlanders, a lot of them are very high boost plays. If you're picking a ball up off the ground, you're using most of your tank. If you're having to push into the ground for a pinch, if you're having to go for a flip reset to get around the ball. But again, we're going to have to see whether those adjustments are made, because the Hilltoppers, I'm very, very impressed.
The other thing that I think they do a really good job at, you're getting integration from both commentators in that 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the temptation would be to just monologue the entire 60 seconds away after being delivered that question. Yeah. But they both got a really good additional point.
Mm-hmm.
With the speed, the precision, and the strength they've shown.
Yeah, and I mean, another thing, like you said, the second those wheels leave the ground, you're probably using...
And a third point.
It's very common to see that. So it also, it really clips the wings of Lake Wales and keeps them on the ground a little more than we may expect.
So just desk presence, being able to bounce off of each other, making sure that there's seamless energy and a good progression of thought. Like, there was nothing wrong with that desk segment.
Yeah.
I mean, for you or me, who have been in the industry for a little while, and we know Rocket League, it'd be very easy for us to roll our eyes like, ugh, they're talking about boost starving? Is that important? You know, it's like, get somebody in there who knows what they're doing. No, not at all. The fact is, they conducted it well. They answered extremely well. And they got everyone involved in the answer. So, like, logistically, everything about that spot, that in-between game, was perfect. You could not have asked for anything better. They knew what she set up something for them to talk about. They nailed it home, and everyone who was involved. It wasn't hijacked by one person. It added to the conversation rather than detracted.
Quickly now, Ian Cito looking for an opportunity to strike an early goal for the Lake Wales team here. Would go absolutely insane, just like that. Ian Cito really opening the gates. What did I say last game? I said, uh-oh, Ian getting even a single goal. That's a sign of the warm-up, and that's when we can really start to get worried. Lake Wales, they lose one game. They are not looking to lose anymore. This is the #1 seed team, folks. This is the team looking to walk away with that Grand Finals championship.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was more important is that you saw 2 members on the goal line for the Hilltoppers, but the precision on that pass, they knew they were going for a waterfall down, and the thing is, the Hilltoppers just have to hope that they're in position, and instead, Ian read the pass, read it well, found the back of the net, and in just a few seconds, they're back in the lead, back to where they're comfortable.
Extreme John, a great demo on goal there. Takes Stark Risky out of the equation, makes it much harder for the Hilltoppers to engage. Going in quick is going to be an opportunity for Lake Wales if they can get it a little bit more to the left of the goal instead. Bounce back towards center field a little bit into a no-man's land, and Ian Cito, he's got ball control, but can he hold on to it? He's about to go into a bit of a 2v1 against these defenders. Looks like the Hilltoppers are keeping it in the back third. There's the demo. Where's the follow-up? And unfortunately, it is nowhere to be seen.
And Extreme John doesn't get that one. Might have been called off by Ian as the respawn was there, so had a slightly better angle, but now Turkey gets past 2, but still that third man always going to find that save as now the transition here, but denied by Ian.
We're only a minute off the clock.
So one thing, when you're a caster in a foreign land,
It is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, Extreme John doesn't get that one. Might have been called off by...
getting into theoretic thought processes, not always the best thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's a whole lot easier to get lost. I appreciate the fact that this was just a quick dip and out. But getting into the thought process, like theoretics on, hey, this may have been a call off, or and before we even had a chance to think about it, we moved back on and we moved out of it.
Yeah.
It was a quick dip and out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it's the best move when you are not 100% familiar with the ins and out of a games to get into theoretic or situational thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Still that third man always
Do
going
you...
to find that save.
Because I know you mentioned when you're not like a huge expert, but then would you just not recommend that overall? Because like you had said, it's kind of like a, no matter what, it's a quick thing, but like you've said before, Rocket League is such a quick game that like you try to quickly explain the theoretics and it's 5 seconds later the ball's on the other half of the field. No one cares what somebody might have been thinking. They want to know what's going on with the play. So is that just something to kind of avoid overall, or are there times where you feel it's important to maybe point out something like that?
I do think if there are moments where it is so obvious that there was communication specifically,
Right.
like if you see a moment that was like, wow, their communication is on point, and take a look at this setup. This is brilliant. The quick 1-2, and you do not find your teammate without them pointing you out, but the execution is what is key here. You know, something.
Yeah.
A spot like that where you get into the theoretics, you dap in it just real quick. The idea of there must have been.
Yeah.
I like it when it's more in statement form rather than question form.
Okay.
Because if you leave open a question, you leave your audience open to questioning.
Mm-hmm.
And more often than not, if you leave an open question for your audience to answer themselves, they're going to leave open the, do you really know what you're talking about question.
Yeah.
So my thought process would be this. Try to keep control of the situation in the cast. Like, you don't want to leave things up to chance. It's almost like playing hacky sack, and I hate the analogy that I'm putting forward here. But in all honesty, you want to keep control of the ball, and the moment you let that fall, the moment you leave question enough to where your viewer can be like, oh, well, maybe this person doesn't know what they're talking about. You've dropped the ball. You've lost the game.
Yeah.
So you want to keep everyone mesmerized by the fact that you're keeping that sucker up.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And the best way to do that is with knowledge. It's with confidence. It's with a firm presentation rather than open-ended questions. The more open-ended questions that you end up putting out there, especially if they're theoretics or, you know, like, I wonder if there was a lack of communication there. It's like, what's your co-commentator going to do with that?
Right.
Not very much. What are you going to do with that? Well, in this case, there was very little to nothing done with it. It was just moved on right back into the play.
Right.
So I would caution people with their use of that. that also being said, I mean, you find that moment, and in that moment, it can be so good.
Yeah.
To mention, it's like, oh, this is quite possibly the most beautiful play I've seen all day, and it does not happen without communication. Like, the tone there alone is enough for you to kind of feel the difference.
Yeah.
So it keeps you in a place of authority as the commentator. It keeps you in a place where the audience isn't questioning, oh, yeah, this is... No, they're going to be right along with you like, you know what? That really was that good a play, and it wouldn't have happened without communication. They're going to simply realize it is stated fact. Yeah. You know what? That's a good pickup. Yeah, it doesn't happen without communication. Maybe I need to start using comms. And that's usually how the internal monologue ends for most people in that spot. Because it's like, maybe I need to implement that into my game rather than what is this person talking about? Do they even know? But yeah, I would say the number one thing is tone. Trying to maintain a controlled tone, trying to make sure that you are not putting yourself or your co-commentator in a bad spot is so important. And leaving open-ended questions, I mean, granted, again, there is a place for it. Like, actually, I would even caution it in those circumstances too, just because there's always the well, Ken, what do you think this team has to do? They are currently in a very rough spot. What's a change you would make?
Yeah.
Okay, granted, you do something like that to me, I can pick it up. Not everybody's gonna be able to pick it up.
Yeah.
Then you also leave that open, and it's just like, eh. It's another one of those devices that you would want to use if you were comfortable, only if you were comfortable with your co-commentator and you knew that they were going to pick you up and it was going to make things better.
Yeah.
But it's also, you're talking about a time sink right there, because if you're asking your fellow co-commentator, is like, what would you do in this situation? Well, first off, I'm a champ 1. So these guys don't want my opinion. But secondly, I would just put the ball in the net. Well, that would be the worst part. You get somebody with like the dry humor, like Hunted.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, I would drive the ball into the net. Now all of a sudden, yes. In the moment, that's hilarious. It's like, we just answered an absurd question with an equally absurd obvious answer. But it would like I said, that would have the potential to derail an entire cast.
Oh yeah.
It'd be glorious, but not in the good way. But yeah, questions and open-endedness leave your viewer to question more often than not. And you can have somebody pick you up well and transform an open-ended question into something, but there are times, more often than not, you want to avoid it.
Yeah.
Here in game 2 already. The demo is there, the play is in place, but the player is not there to slam that ball into goal. So maybe if the Hilltoppers can clean that part up just a little bit, that little bit absolutely goes a long way.
Yeah, it most certainly does. And right now, Tryson looking to make some space, but again, I said that the Lake Wales.
What I would like to see.
So what are they doing? Everywhere around, use the backboard to your advantage and get everyone involved.
I loved that goal. Oh my goodness. I don't know if y'all could hear me gasp, but the tap in from Ian, Extreme John rolls up, down into the far right corner, off the post.
Is it Extreme John?
Really clever way.
You know, I'm not gonna question.
And it is, sort of those moments where you can pass off the corners, get these really tight bounces, because those are not easy passes to make. And right there, slowing down from Rudgy, looking to break more axles today, as you saw one car fly right over, but of course two waiting in the wings. Now it's the Hilltoppers who need to respond, as Ian, with a little bit of space, gets over one. A nice flick, should be a comfortable save, but still the pressure continues to mount.
Pressure absolutely mounting as we're getting close to the second half of our second game here. Lake Wales are already up by 2. They're looking to give us a score of a 1-1 scoreline, to make it a traditional best of 5, just like every other series we've seen so far. But this is the best of 7 after all, so the Hilltoppers were to win 2. I got to really shake things up against Lake Wales, but Lake Wales, they have the chance to equalize. They've got 2 minutes and 43 seconds, excuse me, right here, right now. But Extreme John and Ian Cito are ready to keep the money moving. They put that third goal down, 2:40 on the clock.
And what a dirty 50 right here. John knows someone across the line. He's like, okay, I'll just sit in front of the ball, make sure it dribbles past, and there is no one on that back.
Down, 2:40 on the clock.
And what a dirty 50 right
43 seconds, excuse me, right here, right now. But Extreme John and Ian Cito are ready to keep the money moving.
Mild oversell on it being a dirty 50.
What a dirty 50 right here. John knows there's someone coming across the line. He's like, okay, I'll just sit in front of the ball, make sure it dribbles past, and there is no one on that back line. As right now, it feels like the script has flipped for these two teams. Last time it was the Hilltoppers, 3-0 up right around halftime. This time it's Lake Wales. It's those adjustments, it's that speed, and it's that recognition of what needs to be done. And some great placement from John, but a better save from Risky.
The waffle iron has been flipped indeed here.
The waffle iron. There we go, Sep.
Losing a game 1, especially in a best of 7, you've got so much time to turn on the gas, to turn things around, and put that other team back down, or at least tie the series. Like Lake Wales is getting ready to do. We've got 132 seconds on the clock right now. The pressure is mounting. Oh! Ian Cito confident enough to clear it in front of his own goal, and just barely, the Hilltoppers missed that chance.
And look at that quick transition out of Extreme John. And that's what makes this Lake Wales team so difficult, is you're like, oh, that's an awkward ball. They won't be able to, come up off the wall and find it. Well, they do every single time. And Ian right there, interrupting the shot as it turns into an immediate transition of a pass. And that's what's so impressive of teams at this level, is that every single time they're booming the ball, it is towards a teammate. Every single time that they're keeping it close, it's because they have a flick or a setup that they're going for. And when you reach that level of precision, it becomes so tough, as it really does just look like a play materializing in front of you. As a great save.
That demolition was so intelligent from John there. Did you see it? He was tracking Risky in the air. Risky tracking the ball, not paying attention to the ground. John flies in underneath him. It demos him before the wheels can even touch the ground. An incredible play, a huge disruption against the Hilltoppers. There's only 75 seconds left on the clock. We're getting to that point where you're more scared of the timer than you are your opponents.
Yeah, at this point, it's starting to feel like the end of game number 1, where the Hilltoppers just want to see if they can break out of this play style. But we brought it up. Dor mentioned that Mary Poppins bag of tricks. Yeah. We have seen 2 completely different.
Please don't bring up the Mary Poppins bag of tricks again. Oh Lord. Like, you can only go back to that well so many times. Give me a variation. A spoonful of sugar will help the medicine go down. They've only lost a single game.
That's a good one.
Give me something just a little bit different. Then you go back to the Mary Poppins bag of tricks. If you want to make it an entire casting theme, sure. But no, don't do it. I will say I appreciate the fact that they are doing like this hybrid play-by-play, and it's all solo. It's all very solo centric. Like they're bouncing off of each other's points, but they're making analytical play-by-play each and every time. So it's like, okay, we're gonna take this 3 or 4 seconds of something that we noticed. We're going to play-by-play the scenario. We're going to analyze what that does for 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Then we're going to toss it off on we'll smooth it out with play-by-play till a clear and then toss it.
Yeah.
So it's like they're continuing to build upon what's going on. I just wish there was a little bit more of a variation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I wish it was not both commentators doing it over and over and over and over again. Like, mix it up a little bit. I'm loving the little quips. I'm loving the little quotes here and there. I don't get me wrong. The Mary Poppins bag of tricks is the type of refreshment you need after going to the well 12 straight times.
Yeah.
It just, in that specific instance, it is another one of the repetitions rather than being something that is truly refreshing, a brand new concept or a brand new phrase that you haven't seen or heard. Like, it literally is all about trying to keep a cast flow that is smooth, but also at the same time not stale.
Yeah.
And one thing that I have kind of learned just through observation as of late, the highest level Rocket League right now, you're not hearing them go to play-by-play unless they have nothing better to say.
Yeah, I have noticed that a little bit, that
it is evolving even more. You're starting to see hybrid hit its peak.
Yeah.
So like you'll get, especially in the TriCasts, it's like you will have color point rolled into color point, rolled into a little bit of play-by-play. Oh, somebody else has a small color point, and somebody has a rebuttal to that point. Mix in the play-by-play, and they're keeping themselves versatile enough in the things that they're saying that if a play comes through and they can catch back up with the play, or the really good ones, Jorby would be one that I would use as a perfect example, that stays in front of it even though there is that color point that might be being made at that very moment. So you still get the same reactions, you still get the same play-by-play, but you're also enhancing the game and analyzing the game that is being played. So play-by-play becoming less and less a normalcy. Makes me wonder what everybody is gonna think when play-by-play is not even used anymore.
Yeah.
In professional Rocket League. Get ahead of the times now.
Yeah, true.
They need more color commentators. They need more people to bring a little bit of personality to spots, but also be able to analyze what's going on at a semi-coherent level.
And the fact of the matter is, we've seen two other types already this weekend, which means that if the Hilltoppers adjust, there's going to be another one just waiting from the Highlanders.
45 seconds, that is one goal per 15 seconds here from the Hilltoppers, and that's going to be a tough thing to turn around. They almost find the one, maybe the double, but it goes a little too high, gets cleared away, and as we enter that 35-second threshold, we're looking at 12 seconds per goal, give or take, and things are really starting to get scary for the Hilltoppers here in Game 2. We're going to be tied up 1-1. This is absolutely still anybody's series.
Most certainly is. As Risky looks for a setup, and again, I want to see potentially one goal in these last 20 from the Hilltoppers, as it would go to show that they can adjust. They can adjust on the fly, but still, they'll have a small bit of time between these two games. They'll be able to talk it out with themselves, with their coach, figure out exactly how they can change, figure out what types of passes they can make.
In a way, I'm glad I didn't buy the Mustang Mach-E. That engine sound is so rough. I can't deal with that.
And I love that we get the chance to look at this team right now, and kind of, we don't get to hear what they're saying.
You don't get to switch off of that engine sound, and that'd be devastating to me.
Oh, you can't switch when it's a
when it's in a contracted car like that. So like the 300Z has a pretty nice engine sound, and I'm thankful for that. Oh, let's see.
Wales up 3-0, And I think a big part of that was how quickly they scored, less than 10 seconds. What does that do for a team's confidence?
I mean, back to what I mentioned when we talked about Wilson, right? I talked about they were notorious for getting that immediate early goal.
Did she steal, or did he steal?
As you mentioned, J-Turb, about halfway through.
It's like we've this team right now, and kind of we don't get to hear what they're saying. But we
Yeah, she was kind of giving it to.
You and me. Saying, we got
Yeah,
this right
she was
here.
kind of giving it to John over here.
There was that
Yeah.
gesture. He was like, "We've got this right now." They are back in that full mentality. They've tied up a grand final series.
So the script flipped in that one because game one, as you mentioned, J-Turb, about halfway through, it was Summit up 3-0. This time it was Lake Wales up 3-0. And I think a big part of that was how quickly they scored, less than 10 seconds. What does that do for a team's confidence?
I mean, back to what I mentioned when we talked about Wilson, right?
They must have it where Snifflins talks first, though, because he immediately turned back and looked at him. So
Yeah.
Like I said,
I guess not.
Show up and 10 seconds in, you're like, we're already losing. We just got here. So I definitely think it has a toll on the mental.
Yeah, it certainly has a toll on the mental, but I think more importantly, it showed that this is, a 7-game series, sure, and there is that GG Go Next mentality, but the thing is, these games feed into the other.
Yes.
You saw the final score in that first game coming from the Highlanders, and you see the immediate strikeout from them in game 2,
Yeah,
showing that
desk system and desk presence is so good.
Lake Wales Highlanders family all cheering them on here from just about an hour outside of town, coming in to support their family, support their boys, and I love to see that Puerto Rican flag flying high.
That's so cute. I love to see that. I really do. It's a good moment.
Cute?
I was gonna say it's cute. I don't know if that's not. It's not inappropriate. It just doesn't feel tasteful.
I think wholesome would have been a better word there.
Yeah, cute's a little. Especially, I don't know.
Cute almost sounds demeaning in that.
I was gonna say the same thing. It sounds a little demeaning when you're talking about somebody else's country's flag or territory's flag, and it's just like, oh, that's cute. It's like, oh, okay, it's cute. It's like that's my pride. It's cute. I know what he meant, but yeah, it doesn't come off the greatest.
Strike forward with their boom, so that way they can meet the ball as it lands and try and demo those Highlanders.
I like to see the Hilltoppers get a little thirsty for that boost once again. I think making that a difficult item for the Lake Wales team to grab was a huge play. A double demolition comes in quick, gives ball control just fully in favor of Lake Wales. They've got about 3-4 seconds to really restabilize, discuss the current plan, and maybe even name a strategy they'd like to go for right here. Durkee, a good read there, gets the up and over, completely eliminates one of the defenders from the Hilltoppers. Now pushing into a 3v2, into a 3v1, into a 3v none. Ian Cito walking that right into goal.
Yeah, walks it into the net, and I mean, this is really all just extreme, John. Got past 2 in the air, and Rudgy, best effort, but the thing is, even if you make contact, that is still going in. There's 2 members ready to just punch it through, and first blood struck once again by the Highlanders.
A scary moment for sure, right? It's not as bad as a 10-second goal. 90 seconds is a lot of time for a team to have to wait, but now as that one comes through, 5 seconds
Let's go! Let's go! I finally found the microphone. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Hit me!
They heard you and did it once again here in game 3. As now, again, that 2-goal safety net has been built for the Highlanders, but knowing this team,
Wow. Oh, he got into it.
Durkee coming in quick along the left side, going to be able to find a huge opportunity to open the team and clear into center field. They're immediately getting the turnaround. It's going to be clear.
Let go!
Into no man's land. Now on to Ian Cito.
Love it.
Let's see how quickly the building can crumble before it is put back. 2 minutes off the clock.
I don't know if I like the camera going behind the players to see exactly.
Yeah, I don't know that I like that either.
I like it in between games to kind of see the perspective and like, oh, so that's what they. I don't know. It just seems kind of cool in between games, but not during a game. It feels very distracting.
But at the same time, this is what everybody wants. This is the ESPN presentation.
Yeah.
So yes, it does look awkward. I agree with you completely. Let's go! Let's go! Stop! Oh, fuck! Yeah! Oh, Mac! Let go!
Close, only counting in horseshoes and hand grenades, and neither of those being used here in Rock.
No!
What I didn't hear what he was referring to as horseshoes and hand grenades almost doesn't count. What was he saying almost?
My goodness, I cannot wait to see the replay on that. That defender has to be as close can be, but as everybody knows, close only counting in horseshoes and hand grenades, and neither of those.
He wasn't even close. That's the other thing. Are you good? Are you about to go off?
I'm good. I'm good.
Is this a pet peeve of yours?
Maybe.
I could tell by the
It's
5
not.
seconds of silence. I don't have your stream up, so I don't know what your face looks like right now.
So it's. I hate it because it's a regurgitation. It's like, I know that Septilance most likely got that from me. Because that phrase is dated as heck.
Just the phrase or using it in like a cast?
Well, who plays horseshoes anymore?
Oh, I know.
Who tosses hand?
Before.
Well, yeah,
it's an old phrase. I've heard it before, but yeah, it is. It is old.
It's like we aren't okay. Maybe I need to take a step back and realize, hey, we're broadcasting to the ESPN3 crowd right now.
True.
So there may be a boomer or four.
Slightly older demographic,
Yeah,
but not that much older.
Which you'll appreciate the fact that the young man just said horseshoes and hand grenades. I know those sports.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it hurts my soul personally because for me, in my first 2 years of commentating, it was one of my most overused vocal tropes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, that was close. Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah.
And it would especially take place when I would commentate with Curtis. Because Curtis is just as young as I am, but it looks like he's 95. I love you, Curtis. But
yeah.
But I gotta choke on that one for a minute. Yeah. I don't like the phrase anymore. I really don't like to hear it in Rocket League, just because I have trained myself not to use it anymore. And now that I've heard it again and somebody else has brought it back to relevance, I guarantee you in the next year, it's going to slip out of my mouth and I am going to facepalm myself so hard you can audibly hear it over the microphone. In all honesty, I want to get beyond that stupid phrase. It's like it's so far out of place for especially my casting now. It's like, welcome to the CCA cast. Let's talk about horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah.
Here in Rocket League. Oh, just on the far side, and that is going to be a 3rd-point victory here for Lake Wales. 2.5.
I think literally the last time I used horseshoes and hand grenades was because I was commentating with FBI Tugboat.
Mm-hmm.
And Tug has a way of bringing out the dad joke and the meme cast, but he does it in a very avant-garde approach.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're completely upside down smiley face into meme cast. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I'm just like, okay, boomer, here's some horseshoes and hand grenades for you. And up until that point, I hadn't used it for like a year and a half before that.
Mm.
But it's a phrase that I am glad that I am done with, and I don't use it at all. I don't like hearing it in broadcasts. So it's not like it's not like I'm gonna go through a broadcast if I'm scouting somebody and be like, they said horseshoes and hand grenades. They're done. They're done. All over. No, it cringes because it brings back memories of how bad a commentator I was when I first started.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, horseshoes and hand grenades. Blow that sucker up. I kind of want to see how this ends, and of course we're at the end of time. Oh, they brought it back. Sounds like Grant CFO. No, not that flash shot again.
No, not full screen.
Not full screen.
No, it stops being a meme. Then it's just kind of obnoxious. Oh my, no. It might be better if
who thought this was okay?
It might be a little better if the player looked like he was like intense, but he looks like he's smirking, so then it just kind of looks like it's a meme. And it doesn't work when it's full screen like that. It is way too big.
There's a reason in broadcast sports that the only time that you get those types of shots, it's off of tape. It's an after the fact. You know, it's at the NBA halftime, you know.
Yeah.
And they're going through, you get the intense look of somebody who just got
slow-mo
dunked.
Yeah.
It's just like, ah! You don't do that live. Who thought that shot was okay? It's like you're not doing esports any favors by showing off that young man's acne. I say that with all due respect to everybody involved. The young man, the production. Ah! Oh, we're getting the vehicle switches out in the first minute.
I was gonna say that's something that I used to be so bad at. Is like, oh my gosh, somebody changed their vehicle. I can have some analysis for the first time this cast.
Yeah, if the depth of your analysis is, well, we got a vehicle switch from the Octane to the Dominus.
Yeah.
Then you need to depth and you add more knowledge to what you're saying analytically.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like congratulations. So you switched from one Octane hitbox to a Fennec, the exact same hitbox.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see if your placebo plays off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, dude. So this is how it ends.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Wait.
Oh no. Unfortunate.
Let's go.
Seconds give or take in Lake Wales. They are mere seconds. They are hypothetically seconds away from being your grand final.
Nah, let's go. I think he realized he had the microphone right there. Yeah. I was like, let's go. He's not looking straight into the camera or looking right at the microphone, but it's like, ah! He's up. He's not saying anything that.
No, he's just
Like normally I go through a celebration like that. It's like, let's go, you know. Like Okay, let's see the victory lap here.
Oh, at least he says that. Let's go that time.
Walking away with the win.
And it's just incredible. You can see the families jumping, cheering.
Don't say it's cute, please.
The best part of it. You see the family support. You see these players just knowing.
I'm glad. I appreciate they got off the young man in the middle's hip thrusts.
Yeah.
Hey, don't want any
Oh yeah, Summit High School. A lot
McCringleberry
proud of here, putting
flags
in
going out.
How nice was it to see the families? A short
Amazing.
50-minute drive from Lake Wales compared to all the other teams flying around here, and now it'll feel like a parade driving south back home. Let's go over this game 4 before we touch on the entire series as a whole. You guys mentioned it. Summit played
That was game
defense,
6.
but that's just not
No.
enough. You need to put
5.
up
Yeah.
some offense.
It was
against
wait.
a
It was
high-scoring
it was 3-1.
team
Duh.
with Lake
I
Wales.
am dumb.
Without a doubt. And that's something that I often say because we see teams with a super solid defense.
Yeah, they 100% have Septilence on first.
But nobody's ever going to win
Yeah.
0-0. You need to have at least that one person. At least
She didn't
Seamless.
say a name again that time. She just kind of asked and he started.
1 point can be all you need, but teams and they were really stuck backs against the wall. Being stuck in a defense cannot win you the game. You need an equivalent offense.
Yeah, and it really did just come down to adaptation. I sound like a broken record, but it's because I saw a different Lake Wales High play style almost every single game. And the fact is, most teams have a singular play style. They'll have their top player. They'll have that one guy that they really rely on, or maybe.
And now you just became. Now you just revealed how much you are a multi-esport non-expertise in Rocket League. Nope. That is a filler analytic right there.
Yep.
On this, but you also are sitting there to present.
And Dor does the presentation. Let's go.
Entered the tournament as number 1, and they leave the tournament as number 1. We're going to toss it down to Dor on the floor. He is standing by.
Dor on the floor. Yes.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I love
a lot
it.
of these teams this weekend, but one above and by far all has had the easiest time, has shown us pure dominance. It is my pleasure to present to you your 2022 EGF High School National Championship winners. It's Lake Wales High School!
I need to look to see just how much live Dor has done in the past, because you need to know your mic better.
Yeah.
Anybody else this weekend? You guys look cool, calm, and collected.
Like, he needed to have a little more mic etiquette, pull it away during that very moment. Granted, that might have been the first time he had touched that microphone all day.
Yeah.
The longer it went, the more comfortable you seemed up there with the Intel Alienware PCs. It just got nicer and nicer. The energy got better and better.
Product placement.
Sponsored.
Did it feel like home, or was it a little bit more uncomfortable with all the pressure?
We felt like home. We already played so many matches up there. We already been used to it, and our energy was very high, and we already excited to play the game.
They even have the ESPN style ribbon at the bottom. That's cool. With the champions right there.
It was, let's say, not important to me, but also to the school. Thanks for Mr. Owen over here, because and in later years, more people are going to come to eSport, and hopefully EGF will grow as well.
Hey, that's the hope. Get more teams in here so you have more teams to beat. Isn't that right? All right, one more question for you. You guys are by far and above not just the best team here, but also the closest team to here, just an hour away. Being the home team, how much sweeter does it feel to win down here in Orlando?
It feels amazing because it helps represent our school at Florida, just to come here and just play whatever we are born to play with all the hours that we've been playing together. It shows off.
Nice.
It was an amazing journey for each of the 4 of you. Now, what was it like coming along with them for this whole thing? It must be like watching your kids, just like, you have no input on this, but you also are sitting there cheering for them. How stressful is that?
It wasn't too stressful. 'Cause I think it's very easy being a coach when you have players this amazing. I mean, they just dominated every match. They were always practicing. They made my job way easier. I had very little input.
All right, you guys earned it. I'll give you one last soapbox to stand on. Shout out your parents, your teachers, whoever came here to support you.
Shout out to my mom and dad and all my friends that came here over there, and the school for letting us get this for the school. Just entire the school.
Big thanks to Intel and Alienware for giving us this awesome technology. I appreciate it. And thank you to my mom, my dad, and my brother, and my cat, yes.
And my cat.
Same as my brother. Thank you for every family member that came here, and people online. A lot of people from our family members watched at home, and amazing. And also our newest principal that came here, Mr. Saran, watched us, support us as well.
That's so amazing
That's
to see
cool.
high school esports supported from the top down. You guys are the pinnacle of it this year. Hopefully we get to see you back next year. But as for now, enjoy it. Go get yourselves dinner. Enjoy every last second of it because it's sweet. We're going to send things back up to the desk to break it all down. But thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Lots of applause down there on the floor. Love seeing, I mean, how convenient is it? A local school taking home the trophy. And hey, those kids are ready for their sponsorships. They squeeze in Intel, Alienware. They think all the right people. And the principal, they know what they're doing. Let's get to our Intel Core moments, plural, of the match. And we saw game 2 is when the script was flipped with 3 quick goals before halftime.
Yeah, in the game, it's multiple moments, but in the grand scheme, it is this one big moment. They just lost game 1. Things were looking super rough, and then all of a sudden, Lake Wales comes in, drops 1. We were like, oh my gosh, drops 2 and 3, and that is when they really sealed the deal as early as game 2. They lose 1, and they decided that is never happening to us again.
And the thing is, each of these moments, they weren't, single events. They were full team plays. It was the team getting involved. That first one, waterfall pass down, just completely taking the defense by surprise because you can get a very precise angle and get a very precise pass, and they found exactly that. That third goal, finding the stuff forward so that they could just pressure on in and Ian with the follow-up.
I do appreciate specific moments.
You got 2 of the teammates living in the same house, practicing, growing up together. There's that extra level of synergy that sharpens iron.
Yeah, without a doubt. I do want to
Ooh.
Wonder,
came out my invisible cowboy hat off to them, but they came out and just played their absolute hearts out. I mentioned it a few times. That's the team out of all the teams here that I've known.
Too, like the communication and the teamwork, the resilience. So it's just
To go and get some more pictures. Okay, that's awesome.
Out here today, and you know what, Summit, even though they come out as the runner-up, if I'm not mistaken, they sent 2 teams to this tournament last year, so they're clearly a powerhouse. And I wonder, Lake Wales, I'd love to see what they turn into as
ENCRL. I'd be interested to know.
And I was going to say, watch out for the Bagpipers next season because the Highlanders are the top team. The Bagpipers starting to train up. And when you've got players like Ian.
Okay. We will kill it now. Well, everybody watching the VOD, thank you. We will see you on Thursday if you're watching in between now and Thursday. Later.